How are we doing tonight, guys? It's another wonderfully clear night sky for us here in the UK. So let's keep an eye and see what we can spot there. So we're looking out for UFO, UAP, anything potentially anomalous in the night sky. Zen, how are you doing? Good to see you in. We're trying out the tracking software again tonight. So yeah, if you're just joining us, we're doing a live UFO. Oh, it's no better than it was before, so you might win out, Raf. You might be the winner there, but I do want to test it. I want to give it another couple of goes to see if we can get it better there. We're talking about the tracker. Yeah, Harko, it's playing up no end, and it is being very, very difficult, but if we don't have it on the stream, it's never gonna learn, is it there? Just joined and looking forward to the Lyrid meteor shower. Ends out there. Welcome aboard. Where are you watching from tonight? So I have pointed it in the hopefully what should be the correct direction for this. We don't normally point it at this patch of sky, so it's a new patch of sky for us. But hopefully we're going to see some meteors coming in thick and fast. Cornwall, I am very jealous. Beautiful part of the country there, and I bet your skies are very alive with beautiful and strange things there. A up is in as well. Enza, thank you for the gift there. All goes back into the stream and for the follow there. Teach the AI exactly there, Kate. That's what we've got to do. It's got to learn there. And Zip Baseman, how are you doing there? And Anton there. I just found you there. Are you considering a flat Earth there? So I'm not of that camp. But if people, that's fine if other people have that opinion. I'm always interested in, and open to hear the argument. I haven't been convinced yet. But hey, you never know, do you there? So we're doing a live UFO UAP at Skywatch. And we're coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country, just down the road from Stonehenge. So a very strange and mysterious landscape here. Harko, we are pointing at the minute northeast, I think. Somewhere in that area. Somebody said last night that was the way to do it, and A up there coming in with the gifts. Thank you for those. It all goes back into the stream. But yeah, we're coming to you live, I said, from the heart of Crop Circle country. A long history of the weird and wonderful in these night skies tonight. Struggling that tracker. Let's keep our eyes on it. How is it losing that bright one? That is insane. But yeah, we are trying to track some of the anomalies there. Oh, I might turn it off. We are trying to train AI to understand what we are seeing, because there are going to be lots of satellites, lots of man-made things in the night sky, and as the summer rolls on, we're going to see so much. The skies are absolutely alive with movement. Sometimes there's 14 or 15 objects on the screen more, and for us to filter out the man-made from the potential UFOs there, it's going to get quite tricky. So we're trying to employ the future of AI there and tracking software here to identify that movement, plot where it has been, and then predict that straight path in front of it. And if it follows a straight path, it should stay green, and that means that it is probably a satellite. It's following a straight path at a consistent speed. If it goes red, that means it has deviated from the predicted path, and therefore could be something anomalous, could be a UFO or something like that. How you doing, Maya? Good to see you there. But as you can see, it's deviated from the path and going red, but that's just because it got the path wrong. But like everything, we have all got to start somewhere. With these sorts of technologies, it has to learn on the job, doesn't it there? And Rachel, Scotland forecast is meant to be a brilliant all weekend this weekend. It is looking so far absolutely stunning for the rest of the week, so I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully you're going to catch some things in the skies yourself there. They are big uns. They are very much there. Good spotting the flash, Kate. If it reappears, we'll see if we can zoom in there. And Laura there, wow, That's amazing. I did not realize how bright the night skies were, or how alive the night skies were. So I totally get that one. So do say hello in the chats, guys. It's going to take me a second to get through because we're off across multiple platforms tonight. So I've got multiple chats are running, but I'll try and read through them all there. Any questions, ask away. There are no silly questions, so don't worry about asking anything there, because if you've got that question, somebody else in the chat will, and they'll be grateful that you have asked it. But yeah, do give us a follow, subscribe, or whatever it may be on whichever platform, because that is how you get those notifications when we go live. And we go live most at night, so if it's clear sky, we're doing this. If it is a clear sky of a moon, we got a camera there, we point it up to the moon, see all the weird things around there. Or if it's cloudy, as often happens here in the UK, we do an alien radio signal hunt, and we're searching what's called the hydrogen line, the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorize that if ET is out there, that is where they'd put the message, hello, is anybody else out there? So yeah, hopefully get those notifications when we go live. Where is my cursor? There it is.
Zoom mode activated.
Let's zoom in on this one here. So this is following that. It seems to be learning a bit. Look, it's following that line pretty straight. It probably will deviate a bit as it goes off there. But look how big and bright and fast that one is. Possibly very close by. How the hell did the tracking lose that one? That is insane compared, and it is managing. Oh, there's a flash there. Is that the one you spotted there? So look how faint that one is, and it's managed to keep that one. Oh, jinxed it. There was let's try it again. Flash. No, C3 is about here. But yeah, I think we saw a flash there. Now, flashing can be very anomalous there. Anything that is sitting still, because everything should be moving, should be in orbit, should be in motion up there in those skies. So keep your eyes peeled. If it's staying still long enough to flash back to us multiple times from the same spot, very strange indeed there. You have to bear with the tracking. It looks like Star Wars, but once it has learnt how to do it properly, the wonders of AI, it's not quite ready to take us over yet, is it? Once it has done it properly, it will help us identify, filter out some of those man-made satellites there. Ben is in, and Grim, good a spot in there. It is a fast repeating flash in in A3. I thought it said C3. Right, okay, I'm going to keep an eye out down there, because that's interesting if it's a fast one as well there. Don't think it's drifting. Very good spotting can be very anomalous there. And fingers crossed, I might go out later, but my mum is getting ready to have words with the neighbours. You're going to have to start a fight with them. But it'd be good, yeah, if they can turn their lights off and you can see a bit more of the night sky. How is it not tracking those big bright ones there? We'll have to do some more solving there. Flash in A3. Let's have a quick zoom in on that one. Right, where's my cursor? A3 is about here. Right. So if you're going to be visible, it's going to be in this sort of part of the sky. So let's see if we can see that repeated flash there. And hydration reminder, I need it there. And Anton, it took me 20 years and convinced me, and please there, contact Mark Sargent. Oh, that name rings a bell there. Flat Earth Dave, to have your answers on the spinning. So I know Flat Earth Dave. I used to live in a town called Southend, and there was graffiti everywhere along the high street that said Flat Earth Dave. He used to write it in chalk. I know of that one. Yeah, I'm not sold yet. People, I know it's not that I possibly can't be. I'm very much. It doesn't hook me yet, the whole flat Earth thing. And I don't think I will be convinced. But, you know, look, you've got to leave these things open, haven't you? Because you never fully know. I'm totally on board with there could be some shenanigans afoot. Maybe the mainstream explanation is quite wrong. Oh, there we go. There was the flash. Right, let's see if we can see a repeat of that, because that can be very anomalous. But the issue I have is that kind of like with the argument, I need to be met at our common point. So you need to find where we both kind of agree, and then kind of hold my hand to learn outwards of it there. And I'd love to if we meet in London there. Oh, one day. I mean, I'm not too well. Actually, I'm now in Wiltshire. There, Brad as well.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you for the gift feeding, Alan. Right, I need to see that flash again there. Meridian is not coming from millions of miles, but they say that. But I mean, I've got so much, of the understanding and the prosaic explanations. But I'm open to it. I'm open to it there. Star Wars or Starship Alan. Alan's firing the phases off there, and. Was that Hugs is there? You're doing a great job, bro. Thank you. I do appreciate that one. I feel like one of those old-fashioned cinema organists, all the buttons trying to get everything working at once there. Where are you joining us from tonight there? Look at that. I'm going to zoom back out because I don't want to miss too much. Oh, there it is. It's coming from the same spot. Well done. Look, I'm going to zoom back out. Hopefully the cursor will stay in the same place. Keep an eye on it. See if it's there with us. Now, this is very interesting. Everything up there should be moving, should be in motion. The only exceptions to that really are the geostationary satellites. They are the ones that are in a fixed position, but they're around the equator. At the minute, we're actually pointing quite far north, so we're very far away from that. So what is expending that energy up there to stay very, very still relative to that is very strange, or it's very far away, and like the stars, doesn't look like they're moving, but they are. But if it's then that far away, how big is that got to be to flash back and for us to be able to perceive it down here there? And to be honest, I might have had the whole eye drops and whatever oh my god, there, and my vision ain't good. No, Kate, you spotted it, you got it there as well. Rio 2 there. Don't worry about the typos there. Practically, good evening there, Sam. Chat, sorry I missed yesterday. Was at the O2. Brad, you're allowed to miss there. We do miss you, but I hope you had a fantastic time. What was you seeing? You probably did say, but I have a memory like a fish there. You saw the flash too, Rachel there, and Morgan, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? How do we like the aliens? I like them medium rare. I might have to turn the brightness up a bit. It's now getting a little bit too dark there. How are you doing there, guys? If you're not following us already, make sure you're followed, you're subscribed, something along those lines. You get the notification when we go live. We go live pretty much every night with something like this, if it's clear sky or an alien radio signal hunt, when it's not. And we've got a big clear night ahead of us, a week ahead of us actually, of clear skies. So there'll be lots of this to keep your evenings busy there. And wow, look at the clear cameras tonight. I know it's had a sulk, but in the right direction tonight. The camera's working, so let's not jinx it. And Buddy as well there, thank you for the follow there. And Alex Warren, live, and I must say it's one of the best concerts I've been to. I don't even know that. I'm so old now. I don't even know. I'm starting to not recognise the artist there. And Dazzy there also just joined the Patreon. Thank you for the free month. No worry there, Dazzy, and thank you for joining us over there. We're going to be doing not this Friday, but the next Friday, so you'll catch it with the free month. We're doing our next part in the deep dive on the Condine report. It's very, very interesting. Watch the previous ones back, make the most of it. Even if you're not going to stay past the free month, that's fine. Just enjoy some of the content there if you can. And welcome to the crew as well. And Laura there, the flashing is still there and it's back in A3. Very anomalous. What is doing that there? Blue Nose is in there and Trump's, oh god, I'm not surprised with him, but it's a bit spicy, a bit too spicy for my liking there. And Ben,
nom nom nom.
Thank you for feeding Alan. Now back over to the tubers there. Oh, you're on the Isle of Wight. Was you in the other day with the Isle of Wight? The chat's getting so big now, I'm starting to forget most connections, but hopefully it'll start to stick there. Fantastic. Have you heard of the Sandown Clown there? That was something that could be a UFO alien related as well there. Medium rare. Sorry, Zen. That's not you. I'll go more rare for you. And to say that there, I'm a vegan. It's traumatized there. What's that? As I watch research there, NASA 1207, what's that one? I know there's a lot of conversation, isn't there, around the recent Artemis mission, and is there some shenanigans afoot there? And maybe. It feels for me, though, that if it is shenanigans, high risk for very little reward there, but you don't know, do you? There's some interesting questions to answer, I think, there. Blue Nose, thank you for the gifts there, appreciate that. All goes back into the stream there. And let's have a look. Then it's true there, but the top general denied to give him the codes. Thank God there. Thank God, Rachel. I mean, I wouldn't put past him. Crazier people and all that there. And Dazzy there, I have never been on it before there, so Defa Wolf will have a gander and see what I find. Make the most of it, let us know. And yeah, welcome aboard. When we do the free ones, it's 11 p.m. UK time here, and it'll be next Friday when we're doing the next deep dive there together. And it's a chat like this, but it's over there. If you signed up with Apple, you got to be careful, because I think it's Apple devices that will auto-renew. So we don't want people getting charged if they're not up for it. They're the unexpected ones. So you might have to cancel it before that. So set a reminder if you're on the Apple. Others, they seem to just deviate you by default back to the free tier. So you shouldn't have to worry with those there. But just make sure you don't get charged unexpectedly there. And guess who will get fired because of that? Alan. And what's happened to B? V's working a lot at the minute. She's doing double shifts, so we've said you've got to have a break, V. You've got to have a break there, but hopefully said it's going to settle out for her soon and she can join us again, because we desperately miss our OGV, desperately there. But I mean, sometimes life gets in the way, doesn't it? And you never want to put an extra pressure on people. Life's hard enough there. Right, I'm just going to bear with me a second. I need to turn the brightness up. It's now got so dark, so let's crank the brightness up a touch so we can just make sure we're seeing some of those background stars there. Now, what's happened is that was blue when we first come on the screen, wasn't it? And what was happening there was the sun, although it was round for us here on the surface, it it wasn't fully round there, and therefore some of that light was coming in that and giving that blue colour. Still a bit of daylight there, essentially. But what we're seeing in general is where the sun is now round, it's still not fully round for those objects that are off of the surface, and therefore able to reflect that light back down to us. And that's how we're seeing all of these objects flying around up there. Most of them, sadly for us, are going to be man-made satellites. There's a hell of a lot of them up there, but if we keep watching, keep paying attention to them, even though the tracker is doing some work, but it's got a long way to go, but if we keep paying attention, we'll see the odd one do something strange. They stop dead, shoot off at speed, they change its course, its trajectory, something like that satellites just desperately can't do there. It breaks physics for them to do that. And that tells us that it is something very, very anomalous indeed. Keep your eyes peeled for that. We've already got some flashing that's going on down here in A3, I think it is. They're stationary flashing, which is very, very odd. Most things up there should be moving. So something that is staying still long enough for us to see it flash to us multiple times there. It is, very, very strange indeed there. And I hope she's doing good though. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's going to be good for her work and all those other things in life, you know. It gets complicated sometimes, doesn't it? There, Sky is incredibly busy tonight there. We picked the right day to test the tracker, didn't we? We've thrown it in on the deep end, and no wonder it's struggling a bit there. How you doing, Drewski, as well there? More 50, yeah. I mean, totally. And Rachel there, like me, mine was stationary for about 6 minutes and then moved upwards. So this, at those altitudes, we do not have technology for that. Lower altitudes, drones, they can definitely account for that. They can sit stationary, but you get the perspective, especially when we're zoomed in as we are tonight there. You get the real perspective, and these things are far too high up to be drones, so everything up there is falling to earth in sideways, basically. It has to go sideways before it comes down. So yeah, what is there? What is managing to essentially float up there as well? Let's have a look back into the Tubers chat. How are you guys doing? There, Mayor is the bodyguard and the ship doctor. And coroner there. Send me to the probing room. Oh god, I've been there all weekend there. The weekend is coming up, Raf. More time to spend watching the stream. What are you up to? Are you going to be off your ridiculous shift soon there? And Red Britain there as well, the AI, and ask to also circle Red there. 2 or more flashes in one spot as an anomaly. That's a good idea there. I mean, I'll definitely add it to the list. There's a few things that we'd love to get to be able to do, and that's actually a really good shout there, because I haven't actually considered tracking and seeing if we can automate, you know, the flashes, because they're so subtle, they're so hard to necessarily spot unless you're really paying attention. But luckily, we're crowdsourcing with all of you guys. We're all doing this sort of thing together there. And Marjek there, thank you for the super chat there for £3. That's very, very kind of you there. And you are our first super chat. Was only approved for that last night, or actually today. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. It all goes back into the stream there, helping us upgrade stuff and improve what we do. So we do appreciate that. Let me pop down there to the to make sure I'm all caught up with the chat. It's a brilliant suggestion there, but as you can see, the tracking software is a bit, it's what we're working on. It's machine learning, and at the minute it's in a kindergarten, as the Americans would say there. It's in preschool. And the sky looks amazing tonight there, and I miss V there, Marjek there, in the bar there, drinking buddy. I know. Oh, Marjek, Marie, I thought, what? God, my eyes are so bad tonight. It's Marie, it's an I, not a J. Oh my God, sorry, A-Up. No wonder you're the first in on that as well. My God, my eyes. The YouTube chat, guys, I've got the 3 little chats on a screen in front of me, and the TikTok's not so bad. You can change the size and that, but the tube chat is tiny, so that's why I'm always doing this and reading the YouTubes there, and I'm getting it very wrong. It seems like as well there. Oh, bacon and eggs would be lovely there as well, Raf. And where are you? Scroll around, you're having a chat there. Where are we? No, you're having a chat all in. Right, back to the sick bay for me eyes. Yeah, I need your eye drops, Kate, there. Let's have it. Oh, you sent me a video, Rich. I'll have to check that one out. Did I check that one? I feel like I saw the video notification, but I don't think I've seen it. I haven't been checking my messages much lately. I've been so busy there. And Adele is in. How are you doing? See you in a minute there, Rachel, as well. And Tick as well, guys. The skies are absolutely alive. Wayfind is in as well. And V, I think V is doing double shifts at the minute. So I said, look, don't feel the pressure to come in. We do miss OGV. Don't feel the pressure there Don't want to be burning yourself out at both ends. I tried that last summer. Didn't go down too well there. And I love all this kind of stuff. Faye, welcome to the cool part of the internet. We love it too. And you know what? When I first started this stream almost a year ago, I wasn't sure if this would be me on my own there. But we have found such a fantastic community of like-minded people that are not only intelligent, they know all the details, and we can kind of together understand all this stuff a bit more, but willing to share their accounts with the phenomena and experiences. And that's been the most valuable thing for me. We get to see all the cool stuff happening in real time, getting the evidence and things like that. But you know, it is those stories that really push the needle of belief there. So welcome aboard there, guys. And if you are just joining us wondering, what are we doing? Is this a Star Wars? No, what is happening is a live UFO, a UAP, a Skywatch. We're coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is just down the road from Stonehenge, but right in the heart of Crop Circle country here. We see lots of strange things in the night skies, a long history of the phenomena, the weird and wonderful here. So do help us. Say hello in the chat there. We've got the grid for identifying things. But yeah, say hello in the chat. But give us a follow, because we do something like this every night. It's a clear sky, and we've got a week of clear skies ahead of us, we think. So yeah, make sure you get the follows, and you're going to all subscribe, whatever it is, and then you can get those notifications hopefully when we go live. But yeah, do say hello. Any questions, ask away. There's no silly questions here. We'd love to hear from you there. Maybe you've got a story account, or maybe you're just curious about what we're doing and going, why the hell have we got all these lines across the screen? What are they doing? This is evidence that the AI takeover isn't happening anytime soon. That's what that is there. And Adele there, the one going for A2 looks like it's flashing. Oh, I missed that one. Hopefully I will zoom in on some of the good ones there. That would have been a good one. Keep up the good spotting there, though. That was so weird. Okay, what was it there? But also kind of cool. I missed it. And oh, I like the new format there. Is this an upgrade to the software? It's one where we're building ourselves, hence why it's janky, this tracking software. And we got it a lot better than this last summer, and then it broke itself over the winter because we couldn't use it because there's not much to track, but hopefully it's a work in progress and we can incrementally improve it. But it is weird. Every time I try and make an improvement, it tends to make it worse. We'll figure it out there too soon though, but also kind of cool. What was it, Kate? I think I missed it there. Oh, you're in Wiltshire too. We're down in Warminster, so you'll probably know this, but I didn't know this until moving here. And the reason I dox myself and go tell you where we're coming from tonight is because of Warminster, and that's where we take our name. They had this UFO UAP alien flap here back in the 60s and 70s. Went front for 10 years, had everything. It's called the Warminster thing. So yeah, is it still active in the skies? But I bet you've seen some things there, Faye. So and it's pretty cool, Frog. Thank you for that, Frog. I appreciate it. Our biggest fan of the tracking software is Raf. We're going to get him a t-shirt with all the lines on it there. And Beer Buster, how are you doing there? Oh, you had a blackout there. Everything off. An entire area pitch black. What? There you could see streets, and that were totally black. That is such a rare thing to be totally blacked out these days, isn't it? So I imagine it would be quite, actually see those stars for yourself there. Oh, Westbury, you are a town over. You're a town over. Excellent, Faye. Well, part of what we want to do is actually kind of do a physical thing, like a little bit of a weird Wiltshire club. So hang around, and hopefully we will pull our fingers out and do that. And we are going to be doing meetups as well over the summer at some point. Maybe do some live sky watching, because we like to go up, Clay Hill, Cradle Hill is one, or Battlesbury, the hill faults around here. I mean, even the White Horse near you is definitely on the list. So we take the rig live and we go out there, and we normally get very cold up on those hilltops. But we see some strange things there, and saw the sky with no light pollution. Honestly, you don't appreciate it, because you can see one or two stars, even if you're in a sort of a light polluted area on a clear night. You go, oh, it's the sky. What's that going to look like? Just a few more white dots. But oh my God, it's not. It is just phenomenally awesome, isn't it? There. And A-Up coming in with the gift. Sorry, I'm behind there. And was that Kai KT? Sorry, KT and Brad and Yoda and Brad Tick as well. Blue Notes. Sorry guys, I'm certainly behind on the gifts. Appreciate all those, the gifts, subs, Patreons, super chats, whatever it might be now. They all go back into the stream there. And Katie Jane there as well. Thank you for the shares, guys, because it is the shares, the likes, the tapping away there that does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves there. And the Wayfind, it looks amazing, friend. Thank you. I can't wait to see the finished project. Me too. Hopefully we'll get more chance to improve it there. Katie as well, thank you for the follow there. And do we have the quest this week? And is it movie night on Friday? Yes and yes. So the quest will be Thursday. Again, probably 6:30, 7-ish sort of kickoff time for that. And then it'll be movie club on Friday. So I'm not sure when we're going to manage the streams those days. And then we've got a midnight on Friday, and we're doing another interview here on TikTok with somebody else. And Katie coming in with the shares there. And what time do you start? So it's a bit of a rolling start. As it starts to get darker later on, we have to kind of wait a little bit. So at the minute, it's about 9:30, 9:40, and it'll slowly creep up as the summer rolls in there, because it's just not dark enough before then. And A up sent a portal, thank you for that one. A up there. And do you believe they went around the moon there, Katie? I'm open to them not. I am definitely open. I think there's some very interesting questions that need to be answered by NASA and organisations like that. But by default, I do tend to lean that we did go to the moon and we did this time. My main reason for this time is just that I can't see why they would have gone to that high risk of exposing themselves alive for very little reward. You know, we'd kind of done that bit before, but you never know, we could be wrong there, and your eyesight is crap there at the minute, but you still saw so much in the blackout there. Just imagine what you could have seen there. And the night sky is really active. It's going on. I did not realise how active the night sky actually was here. First time we got the camera on, we saw 14 or 15 objects moving up. Oh my god, that's it. You know, this is it. It's so busy, these skies there. Yes, they go up to the White Horse there. Weird things over Salisbury Plain. We've seen a couple of things, but hopefully we're going to do some more live on location exactly like that. I'm just going to quickly pop back over to the YouTubes because I've been patiently waiting. Then I'll catch back up with the TikToks there, and let's have a look there. Oh, and listen to Mark Sargent there. At some point I will give it a go, I think there. And Pierre there, you have a telescope. No, we have a digital camera, just it's got a very good lens. So we don't actually want a telescope so much because telescopes are quite zoomed in. And we need the biggest bit of sky we can see, because you never know where the action's going to be. And there. And Adele the singer is, yeah, Adele is the singer, is over in the TikTok chat there. The very same. Hello. No, that was a... Oh, fucking, what is his name? There. I must. What's that? It must sound like I am a pig there, always yapping about food. But it's only because this cosmos is when I finish work. You're on when it. I mean, Raf, you just get me hungry. I always just associate you with the old Frey Bentos pies, though. And Anton there, and go to Bournemouth meeting every month there, and it's a great crowd. I mean, I'm open to it. I totally get questioning the mainstream narrative. There's not been a point that I've kind of gone, that's clicked, if that makes sense, yet, but I'm open there. I can't imagine I would be, but that's only because of my current beliefs, but you never know. So I always keep a few percent open there, and don't share it. Yeah, I can, there's a few people I can imagine on that one. And so I come from beyond Antarctica. That's not something I'm very confident in at the minute there. I mean, everybody, again, is open, is well entitled to their beliefs. In fact, we quite encourage it there. There's been many a time that people have come in with counterpoints, and I think, it's challenged our understanding, or my understanding of these things, but they present such a good case there, and I think together we can all piece this puzzle together. So we appreciate that, but as long as everybody is offering their beliefs up rather than telling everybody else, that is the key with it there. Got more to prove, quite possibly. And wear a hydration reminder. Thank you there, man. Let's open that can there. And where are we there? See, that's the thing there, Anton. There's something about the flat earthers and the way you guys talk that this is the thing. It's the are you mad stuff. So the things that seem logical to you and don't seem logical to other people, the difference is that you've got a structural of understanding, all of the smaller components. If you think of it like a tree, and like the flat earth is the leaf, but you need the stems, the twigs, the branches, the trunk to hold that. And when you go around offering up individual pieces of fact, the layperson, and this is assuming, not assuming right or wrong, but this is how knowledge works. The layperson doesn't have that structure to hang the leaf on, so they go, nice leaf, and the shares, the likes, the tapping away that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. But if you are just joining us, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. They're coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So a long history of the weird and wonderful in these skies. Do let us know if you spot anything. We're getting our tracker going tonight. Now it is machine learning. The idea is that it's meant to, like this, what it's doing now is it's identifying movement with a little target symbol, predicting its path, and then if it maintains that path it stays green, and if it deviates from that path it goes red, or it tries to. But the idea there is that satellites are falling to Earth in a big circle, and therefore its straight lines at consistent speeds. That's how we're going to identify all this movement from the earthbound, the man-made stuff there, from the potential UFOs. Because if it stops dead, shoots off at speed, does the interstellar handbrake turn or something just like that, then that tells us that 100% can't be a satellite. They cannot do those sorts of behaviours. So the tracking now is trying to learn that satellite behaviour. It is analysing them and hopefully getting them, some of them right. But as you can see, it loses them every now and again, or it doesn't get the alignment just right, or it misses a big bright one. So it's very much work in progress, but sadly we have to do it live because I mean, it's only dark enough at night to do this when we're also streaming, so you have to tolerate the Star Wars on the screen there. But Pluto, thank you for that gift there. That's very, very, very kind of you as always there. And Grim,
nom nom nom,
thank you for
thanks,
feeding
guys.
Alan there. All goes back into the stream there. And weird though, because my mobile internet wasn't working, and never had that with a blackout before. Now that is a proper one. Yeah, normally the cell towers have got some sort of backup or battery or something, haven't they? But it took everything out. That's proper going back to the Stone Age. Did you time travel there and wayfind a few dark sky areas across Scotland? Unbelievable when you get a good night there. We're on the cusp of a dark sky area, and I haven't actually been, because it's all rural here and country roads, but I would really, really love to maybe do a Skywatch from there. And Ben coming in with the gifts as well. And Katie, oh, what's that? Good question. I'm so far behind the chat. I'm trying to keep an eye out for the real anomalous ones. But what we're really looking for, again, flashing can be anomalous. Now, satellites can appear to flash to us if they're rotating, if they're tumbling. Then the more reflective side, as it rotates, there catches the sunlight and then loses the sunlight, basically, and that's there. But it also can be an anomaly, so we have to kind of treat those ones on case by case. But the real eureka is that movement there. If we see it stop dead or change its direction, something like that is really, really good for us there. So hopefully I'll catch those and we can zoom in on the good ones. In fact, should we zoom in on a couple? I want to kind of get ahead on the TikTok chat, but let's zoom in on oh look, there's 3 in a row here.
Zoom mode activated.
Right, so we got this one coming in, and then this one. I was trying to track one then, and got this one here. So look, 3 in a row. Oh, look, that one is flashing. Look, it's getting brighter. So if a satellite just flashes up once, then that's normally in its orbit there. It's just catching the sun's light just at that perfect time there. If it's repeated flashing, oh my god, look at that, it's snakes and ladders now. Look at all the objects in on screen. I would have missed those ones. They would have been too faint for me. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the only one. 6 that is catching there. So even though it's not perfect, at least it is helping us to at least initially identify where there might be something there. So yeah, keep your eyes on them, because it just takes that last minute course correction, change of speed, interstellar handbrake turn, as we will. There for us to say that it is definitely not a satellite there, but they are a bit rare. But we tend to see something strange at least at once per stream there. Leanne coming in with the gifts, thank you there. And Wayfind, wow, it's a busy sky tonight there. There's more things moving than stationary. It is crazy that this is the busiest we have seen it on the season. I haven't even got count there. 9 on screen at one time, Brad. That is getting close to our record, getting very close there. And who's doing what's that? Who's doing the lines, or is it AI? So yeah, it's a bit of AI. But so the AI is meant to be teaching itself. So yeah, that is what it is doing at the second. So it's trying to identify movement. That is what it goes. It compares. It takes basically each one of them is a still image, and then it sees the dots. But there's obviously a lot of stars look very similar there. And then it compares the next one and goes, has that dot moved? If it has moved over enough squares, then it gives it a target symbol, and then it follows it along, draws a line behind it. You can't see this bit because it just clogs the screen. Draws a line behind it and then goes, right, that's the straight path, so it should follow a straight path in front. And then that's when it predicts these green lines there, and it should go red if it deviates from that. But every now and again it does get it wrong. But that's what the learning's for there. And Faye, I have a question there. Is that okay? Oh, ask away. Guys, questions are totally fine. There are no silly questions here at all. We love to hear it, and half the time I don't know the answer, so it's a chance for me to learn as well, and I love that there. Are you into the paranormal? So Faye, I have. In fact, I had more spooky experiences than I'd had a UFO. In fact, I had no UFO or alien encounters or anything strange until doing this stream. That was a big reason for doing it, actually, was I wanted some evidence. I wanted some experience firsthand, personally, with the phenomena. So yes, I am very much into that as well there. Spaceships, lots of it going on tonight there. And who owns an actual radio? You're talking to me. Of course I own an actual radio. Oh, that one's a flasher. You never thought you'd hear that one on the internet.
Zoom mode activated.
Oh, it's trying to track it now. Oh no, look, it tried to track it, then it picked up that star. Okay, it's not flashing so much now. But what's happening? Basically, when you see that repeated flashing, is the object is flying in like that, and as you can see, like doing that flash. See, when it gets the big reflective side, no for reflection, flash. So it's basically doing that as it's traveling. And if it's doing that, then, and that's a satellite, then it is broken there. Most satellites are designed to point one way only, and that is their sensors, whether it's an antenna or a camera, if it's a spy satellite, point down to the Earth, or something like the Hubble, a space telescope that's pointing up out there. But it all needs to point one way. If it's rotating, then it is, it's most probably a broken there. Oh, Pete, how are you doing? Now, so Pete, if you're still in the chat there, this is Pete, our occasional co-host. He comes on us, oh my god, comes with us up the hill forts locally when we do the on location ones there, and he's going to be with us as well when we do the quest on Thursday there. So I think it should be the meteor shower tonight, and that's why we are pointing in a different part of the sky. We caught a few last night, so yeah, there should be some really cool shooting stars come across the screen there as well. We had to kick Sam out of Essex. You've been out of Essex for ages. What are you saying? There, Katie coming in with the shares as well there. And Rosette Edwards as well. Thank you for the follow. And Taz too. Guys, where are you joining us from tonight there? Do say hello in the chat. Might take me a minute to get around to all of your messages, but I'd love to hear from you all there as well. Let's have a look there. And user 68, how are you doing there? And Liam, it's so cool. It does look cool. If we can get this working and we can get some other information in there as well, then that would be, I think, really cool. At the minute, it's, I don't know, we get a 20% success rate, better than it was. And is it M4R7? And there, how are you doing? To there, Leanne coming in with the shares there. How you doing, Lee, as well? Good to see you. Leanne coming in with those gifts, and it all goes back in to the stream as well there. Yes, apparently it is a meteor shower tonight, so hopefully we are going to start to see some shooting stars. We should be pointing in the right direction, he says. There, user 68, how are you doing? How have you been? And Ben there, was the craziest paranormal thing you have seen? So my main paranormal experience, there's a lot that are in that creepy territory, but maybe there is an explanation, maybe there's a bit of interpretation around it. But my main one, my first, was a very young child. It is the most obviously paranormal thing, or somebody dosed me with LSD. Like, it is, but it's also the most kind of mundane as well. Like, you'll have to, I'll describe it. I have a prop for this one. I'll come back to that when the chat quietens down, and I'll describe what that is, and you can tell me you think I'm crazy there. And yes, I've been on ghost hunts at Shepton Mallet Prison there. So I've heard about Shepton Mallet Prison. It's not too far from us there. And one of our crew actually went on one recently. They said, yeah, very, very freaky. We'd love to do. We've done one spooky stream almost a year ago. Maya, that's when we met you, wasn't it? On that one. So we would love to do more, but it's kind of getting around to it there, but I would love to do more there. And so I don't, if anything actually happens, I'd be sat in the hub's car trying to hear something on the radio. You've got to have a backup radio there. You heard that? There, bro gives this AI a few weeks and it will be scientific and taking over TikTok. I would like, so though, we had it better last year. It's really frustrating. It's like, the more I try to improve it, it just kind of hits a wall and breaks it. But hopefully, yeah, we'll keep at it there, man. The positivity, I'm sure, will help it there. And Blue Nose, thank you again for the gift. That's very, very kind of you there. It's hilarious because it wasn't even intentional. I know. Pete's probably can't type now because he's smiling so much. There. It is clear on the camera. Well, luckily, the camera has had another bit of a sulk, but in the right direction this time there. And Lizzie, thank you for the follow. Right, let's quickly pop over to the tube. Just catch up with you guys. Don't want to neglect YouTubers over there as well. Saying nothing there. I would convince you that the spinning ball is wrong there. I love you. I love that as well. And it's that open shared information, isn't it? The way. And I think that is it. You got to kind of be open to things. Right, where are we in the chat? Let me scroll up. Sorry, guys. It takes me a while. We're running across TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch, so it takes me a second to keep up with all of the messages. But I will try and get, well, I always do get round to everybody's messages there, but it might take me a minute there. And It's more Spaceballs than Star Wars. Well, you're not wrong there. Took you 55 years to see that. Well, it's always possible, isn't it? How you doing, Pierre, as well? And Vinny is in. How are you doing? Good to see you there. Chris is in there. Thoughts on the Travis Walton case? It's an interesting one, is old Travis Walton. I think it's a strong contender. I really do. But it's very hard. I'm one of these people that I'm never happy unless I can experience it for myself. Like, my boss is always shouting at me because I'm insisting on doing the things that everybody else already knows doesn't work. Like, I have to experience things for myself. I have to learn the hard way. So, like, all of these things, I can be warmer to things, but until I can kind of get some of those personal touch points on them, I can't say for sure. But he is definitely a case that I like there. Where are we in the chat there? Let's have a look. And is that Mark there? Greeting from Farnborough there, where a few years ago I saw an object over the airport there, and it was the movement that caught my eye there. 90-degree turns and then shot off. Now, there is nothing technologically that could do a 90-degree turn there. I mean, drones can kind of get a little bit closer, maybe at a certain distance there, but you kind of get a feeling for the general movement of the drones and things like that, don't you? So, yeah, that is very, very interesting there. Was there any coloration to that sighting? I love that as well. Thank you for sharing it there, and let's continue the flat earth to convince you. At some point there, we will definitely do it to them. Thank you there, Anton. Thank you for the questions. Big love. And I believe the flat earth or not, and it goes with all the flat brains. Let me just have that. I mean, this thing, problem is, I understand, like, it's not a way that I lean, but I can't fully write many things off there, because my current understanding, my current scientific belief, it's mostly faith-based, and not a religious faith, but faith in the institutions that surely enough of our scientists would have figured it out, or they can't keep a secret that big, you know. But that is faith. That's not actually knowing. There, it's depending on those things. So I can never say 100% there. And where are we in the chat? Let's scroll down there. And have you clipped some of the sky, their findings and the shooting stars, etc., and put them on the shorts with advertising? It was something we was doing, Vinny, and I really enjoyed doing. I still clip them. I've got a little foot pedal here, and it saves the last 2 minutes of the clip. But I just haven't got the time lately to do it. I'm so, like, snowed under with various work projects. But you're totally right. It would be really good to do, and I really do want to do it. We've still got the footage, but I haven't been able to do it in I think since last year. We're slacking, but you're right. I think it would do really well, because some of those shooting star shots, I mean, they're amazing. I just want to watch them again myself there. He's from Liverpool, if that makes him an alien. What's that? There, I think I'm up on the tube chats there. So right, let's get back to the TikToks. Right, let's have a look. Where did we get to in the chat for you guys? Because we didn't finish it. That's Paranormal. We did that one, didn't we? Oh god, where did we get to, guys? Sorry there. And come fly on me. Wait, the meteor shower is near Vega, right? You know, I think so. Because Vega we would see, though, definitely, because Vega is so big and bright and purple. So I'll have to check my alignment, because obviously the sky moves. So I'm going to have to double check that one in a minute. Good, come fly me there. I miss Vega. We used to have that in shot, didn't we? Every night in our stream during the summer. It was absolutely amazing. Big and bright purple star there, absolutely stunning there. And come fly me, thank you for the follow. Leanne, thank you for the portal as well there. And Wayfind, there's a YouTube channel, and the guy hides in abandoned places dressed as a demon and scares people to death. Oh my god, that is hilarious. 10 points to that man. That is a genius idea. I like that. I haven't got the stones to do it myself. I'll be there in the dark scaring myself. There. And Hibbs as well there, thank you for the, Hibba, sorry, thank you for the shares, I appreciate those guys. It is the shares, the likes, the tapping away that does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourself there. And Lee, what's your thoughts on the latest Bob Lazar doc-film there, and new info he's spoken about? So Lazar, I'm a fan of Lazar. It's all percentages, it's never a full yes or no for me, but percentage-wise I'm quite strong with Lazar. But that documentary, it was really, really good. I'm a visual person. I really appreciated seeing the space and stuff like that. He answered a lot of questions, but then I also got a lot more questions, and that's not necessarily a reflection on him or the quality of the account, but you know, he's like, okay, now I need to know about that, and now I've got this question here and there. So I don't know, I felt like it didn't move my needle much of belief, I think, overall, but it did answer some things. How did you guys feel on that one there? So it's S4, a Bob Lazar story or something like that, wasn't it there, Faye? And I'm going to love you and leave you there for a bit there. Have a good stream. Faye, thank you for joining us so much. I hope to catch you later on there as well. And the local Facebook group says the black cat was a tower over as well. They're proper. Oh wow, so a whole tower down. That's quite substantial these days there. And where are we? In there, Tick Tick as well. And Leanne, thank you for gifts,
thanks, guys.
feeding Alan and all that. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. If you are just joining us, guys, we're doing a live UFO, a UAP, a Skywatch tonight there. We're coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. That's a big, bright, beautiful one. Let's zoom in on that one, I think. Yeah, so help us
Zoom mode
tonight
activated.
spot all of these anomalies. Now we're going to see lots like that. Look how big, bright and blue that one is. Now, as far as we know, that is probably just a satellite there. A man-made object flying around there in space, in low Earth orbit, I should say. And whilst it follows a straight path there at a consistent speed, then that's all we can say. We're looking for it to do something strange, something a satellite just can't do there. To stop dead, change course, change trajectory are there, because as I said, satellites can't do that, and therefore it is highly anomalous there. So keep your eyes on it whilst it is travelling on the screen, because it could just be that last second before it comes off of the screen there, and that will tell us that that one wasn't one of the many satellites, but it was something strange indeed there. And we do see a couple of times per stream the skies are absolutely alive with anomalies there. I wouldn't have believed it until I'd seen it myself there. Grim coming in with gifts, thank you for those, and Leanne too there. And Gone, see a lot of the stars in the sky tonight, even in London. It is sometimes I don't know what it is. Is it the moisture in the air or whatever it is, but sometimes it's even clearer and even more colourful. It's absolutely lovely there. Naomi coming in with the likes. Appreciate all the likes, guys. I can see it over on the tubes as well, guys. Helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. And you don't know who is going to come in there and what story, what account of the phenomena are they going to share that's going to help us understand things. I can't tell you the amount of times that have come in and people go, no, I've not had an experience myself. Somebody else will share one, and then the penny will drop and they'll go, oh crap, no, I did see something, but I just wrote it off as, so it's, it wasn't that strange that it jumped out. But upon reflection, they're going, actually, what the hell could that be? So, excuse me. So yeah, it's so important that we have to share our accounts of the phenomena and the highly strange there. And CSR there just captured something strange in the sky. Oh, if you post it, do tag us in it there so we can see it there. I'd love to see your videos too. And Lee there, I've watched it on my Fire Stick, but I think it's on Amazon Prime. But yeah, so it definitely is on Amazon Prime. Silly me paid for it. But hey ho, they need their money back after doing it, don't they there? And Carl, loving the sticker. Vega, yeah. So I miss our stickers there. And hi, TikTok Ramreds, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you in. Alpha coming in with the shares. And Oscar, hey man, I got my best moon photo ever there. Could you check it? We can. Yes, we're a bit rushed at the second, but I'll try and check it. Might have poked me later on there. Congratulations. Honestly, getting a shot of the moon. We've all seen pictures of the moon, but when you actually see it and you see the craters yourself with your own kit, it's something just weird. It touches inside of you there. And Lee as well coming in with the shares. And Body Language Guy on YouTube watched his latest interview, and he believes everything Lazar says. I mean, there's a lot going for him, and I think that makes sense. There's just a few things for me that I go, I don't know. Like, and it's not that I think he's lying at all. I just, and he says himself, isn't it, that, some of the stuff was probably told to him, was probably fictitious. They put this in the documents, don't they? They tell them a specific lie, and then that way, if they leak that information, and, I think one of the ones in his story was, there are 100 other species, it's not that, but there are 100 other species, and they'll tell somebody else there was 50 species and somebody else that there was 70. So if 100 species get leaked out, they go, it was Bob, like that. But yeah, no, I think something definitely happened. Something definitely happened there, and people need to give their heads a wobble with that stuff there. And Jane coming in with the gifts too. I think it's interesting to understand how that happens. And when I understood my own belief structures, I realised how flimsy a lot of them were on. We delegate our beliefs, a lot of what we understand and believe and how we function in the world. We delegate that to the community. If everybody else believes that and they haven't died yet, well then great, we can afford, at the very least, if we're wrong, everybody else is going to be wrong, and we're one in a herd there. But that's not quite the same as actually knowing rock solid. Like when you have an experience here with the phenomena and you see something strange of yourself, that's your own experience, that is hard there, and you go, wow. But I realised, we talk about the orbits, all these things that I would counter one of those arguments with. Again, it's not my own science, it's not my own work. It didn't feel like firm foundations, but I still lean very much to the prosaic universe explanation there, and Lee there with George Knapp, so that S4 was covered. So that was interesting. That did come out, wasn't it? There that I think it was George Knapp did say that he rung up the Rangers there, their press department, and said, "Have you got an S4 there?" And they went, "Yeah, we've got a few." So I'm not sure if that makes it more credible there, that they confirm they do have an S4 facility, but then they've got multiple. So maybe it's not a facility, maybe that's what they call their weather stations there. I don't know there. And Mike as well, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. Where are you joining us from there? And M1975 there. I have seen 3 times something I can't explain. And the last time, one I got on film, like a house fly there. So that is very interesting. I mean, when you see these things, you can't explain them. Like, as you'll be sitting with us tonight, we've already seen one. We saw the stationary anomaly very early on into the stream there, and there will be more. I mean, just look how busy it is. One of these is going to do something strange, but you'll see it, and we go, right, we know with that behavior it cannot be a satellite, and we know it's not a shooting star, and we know it's not a plane. They're easy to filter out. But what is it? That is very difficult to take to the line and tell and even explain and convey why it was strange. It's always difficult there. Oh, let me have a look. Let's have a look. Where are we? Let's try. Oh, no, my phone's not working now. Right. Oh, that is pretty good there. I can see why you're proud there, Oscar. Well done. That is really clear. How did that feel to get that shot there? That is hands up. That is very good. Oh, well done. And Stacey there, I have, and it was early morning, 6 a.m, and there was a normal plane right behind it, and something was following. And we hear lots of accounts of them following aircraft and stuff as well. So, it matches in with that. Oh, hold on, I'll come back to that one. We've got an anomaly.
Zoom mode activated. Anomalous object confirmed.
Right, see, this one is orange. There you go, it's just trying to track it now. Now, what is interesting about the orange ones here, what we're seeing, if they are satellites, what they're doing is they don't emit light, they've not got headlights on them. They are reflecting that sun's light back to us there. And sometimes, like this one, you'll see one that isn't just the shades of white and different brightnesses there, or even the minty blue that we occasionally see. No, you'll get one that's deep red like this, or a deep, deep green. Now, the green we could possibly with the atmosphere, I mean, look at how many of these are together. That 1, 2, 3, 4. We can explain away potentially by the atmosphere, but orange is very interesting because we haven't figured out yet how we're going to get that colour reflected back to us there. Why are all of the others a nice, simple white, like we looked at those ones, and that one is such a deep, distinct orange? But orange is particularly interesting because that is the colour that they do think that, well, they know that ionised plasma glows orange there, and they think that the way these UFOs would work is that part of their warp drive, their propulsion system, would create a layer of plasma outside of the craft there. Hold on, this is a nice one.
Zoom mode activated.
See, this is the minty blue one, but this is just so bright. Oh, sorry. So bright and so white there that it is kind of coming through as a really fresh blue. But compare that one to that one. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, it's a space worm, as we call it. That was actually pretty straight for a space worm. I might call that as an anomaly as well. See, this thing, we get things in here that, well, that definitely wasn't a shooting star. That was on 2 screen for long. But yeah, the orange, they do think is the plasma, with the effect of their warp drive propulsion, plasma, ionized plasma around the craft there, which would glow a bright, brilliant orange red to us there. So that could be what we're seeing with something like that there. And Lee coming in with the shares there. And oh, the Light Ridge meteor shower is in Hercules next to Vega, but also later the Aquarids meteor shower there. Right, I need to make sure I'm pointing in the right direction for this, because I lined it up earlier, but time has gone on and we haven't moved the camera now. And Jonathan there, and I'm back there ready to settle down for the night with great knowledge. Thank you, Jonathan. Good to have you in. It is already kicking off tonight there, so keep your eyes on the screen, guys, because tonight is just so clear, and it's going to be full of anomalies, full of nature's show there, a few meteorites, I'm sure, later, and all these wonderful, wonderful things there. And gone there, the shadows, orbits of the sun and moon there. Ooh, what's that one? Is that shadows have been detected around those things? And T, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from there? And is that Lucerus there as well? Thank you for the follow and for the shares there, because it is the likes, the shares, the tapping away that does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourself there. We are definitely a bit rusty there. How are you doing, Banana? That honestly, it was that he's a rusty brown colour there, and just joined and caught that perfect timing, Banana there. And Future Rabbit, welcome aboard there. And Astra, it is a very busy night. Amy Lee there, thank you for the likes. So keep your eyes peeled, because it is going to be full of anomalies tonight. Right, back over to the tubes, guys. You've been patiently waiting communicating. We're across multiple chats, so it takes me a minute to catch up either side. Let's have a look there. And a scouser is a Liverpudlian. That's a polite term. Where are we? Thank you, Nom. What are you guys chatting about over there? And you asked the other night if Independence Day was a real... Oh no, you're chatting to someone else there. Can never tell when you're having an internal conversation there. But Private Tomcat, good to see you in. But yeah, look how busy the night sky is tonight. And we've had the stationary flashing, we've had the orange one, and we saw that space worm. So what we call space worms is normally when we get a bird or a bat, something like that flies over the lens, and it's quite different. It's not as bright. We should start to see some of their action. Last night we did get quite a few interesting ones. Absolutely stunning to see there. And Hermetic, thank you for the roses there. And A up there for the gifts. All the gift subs, super chats and things, they do go back into the stream, helping us improve what we do. Brilliant, brilliant question there. Hermetic, guys, if you've got questions, ask away. There's no silly questions here. Or if you want to tell us about your experience with the phenomena, anything like that at all, we would love to hear about it there. But do make sure you're following or subscribed, whichever it is on your platform of choice, because we do something like this every night, and then you'll be able to see when we go live, hopefully, if they tell you there. And just found an X105 telescope with a motor and tripod. I'm going to try for that one out. Oh, Deb, let us know how you get on there. We want to see those cool shots. And guys, if you're doing a bit of astrophotography, or you've got an experience with it that you want to share, we've got a little Discord community, link in the bio for those there, which has got a really cool personal experiences section where a lot of you guys are sharing your first-hand accounts with the phenomena, with images, videos, or your astrophotography there. General chat. I mean, we're going to be doing movie club on Friday. We're all going to be sitting down and watching Paul, and then we chat along on the Discord movie club channel there and have a bit of a laugh. And you're all welcome to join us for that one there. Where would it be coming from? So I think it's coming from around where Vega is, people were saying there. And Oscar there, thank you there. And if you get a chance later on, also sent a video. Oscar, I will try to do that one after the stream. I'll catch you up there, but well done. And Rio won't see the meteor shower here in Aberdeen. It's too clear. Oh, Rio, we've stolen your clear skies. You'll have to live vicariously through us tonight. You've had a good run of good weather. For Scotland, you've had your year's allowance there. And thank you, Hermetic Vibrations, for the follow. Good to have you on board there. And what made you get into astronomy? So 26, basically it was a few things. We moved here to the country about a year ago from a very urban area, light polluted. Hadn't seen a good night sky, and literally the first night, and it was a clear sky, I looked up and went, oh my god, that is stunning. I had an emotional reaction. So it's partly that, and going, I wonder, would anybody else want to kind of see this? But also this little town, turns out it's got its own UFO flap here in the 60s and 70s. It's a bit of a Roswell for the UK here. It's very unknown, but it's a fantastic account. So it's kind of like a, let's see if that's still going on as well. And the two things came together, and that's where we kind of started doing all of this there. It's a good question. How about yourself? What got you into that there? And so will it be coming northeast? So northeast, I think, is the... Yes, northeast, if I've got that right. Northeast, east? So, yeah, I think it's more towards the east part of that. As Kate battery's charging. Yeah, where is Kate? She's just blind. She can't find the phone. Donna there, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. And Amy Lee there, better looking east, as it says, seen one earlier in that direction. We might actually have to switch the camera around. Yeah, luckily, hopefully the tracker works out. Oh, that's a blue one, isn't it? Look, coming in there. See if we can... Oh, it's fading out in time. But keep your eyes on those guys. There's lots of movement in the skies. Lots of those are going to be man-made satellites. So you've got to keep your eyes on them. You've got to follow them through. And the ones that change course, change speed, anything like that, that is what we're looking for. They are the anomalies. Satellites just can't do that. And then we know we have something strange. But do say hello in the chat. Tubers, you've been waiting patiently. I'm going to get over to you in just a second there. And DJ there, where did you live before? I lived in Essex. So I was in sunny Southend-on-Sea and Basildon before that. So quite a place. The country, I've never been in a town this small. There, just like you, when you see it, it gets you into it, doesn't it? There, and everybody goes, "Oh my God, the skies!" when they come and visit. There, Shannon, how are you doing there? And Shannon, you do not disappoint there. The Metropolitan Shower. We're just waiting for it to kind of come in shot for us, basically. We're in the right part of the sky, but it needs to get above the houses. So any time should be the deal. But I mean, it's so alive already tonight there. Good to see you. I hope you are well there. DJ as well. Good evening there. Live near, Castleton. That rings a bell. Derbyshire. You know what? I've been through, but I've never stopped a few times there. I bet you've got some good skies up your way, though, there. Okay, I'll be meditating on when that happens there. Good share. The big connection with that consciousness meditation connection there. It's not one that I've explored yet, but I hear so much about it. It's definitely on the list there. And A-Up says, the Lyra meteors is visible all night, and the ones in Aquarius will be visible after about 3:30 a.m. UK time. Oh, Aquarius. Is that Vegas constellation, then? Because I ain't waiting around for that. Which one's Vegas? Is that going to be all night? And get some high-level frequencies in. Sounds good there as well. Thank you for joining us, though, for now there, Chris. And is it Jolly as well? Welcome aboard. Good to have you guys in there. And now your sister lives there. Excellent. Just, I mean, which one's that? Southend or Basildon? I had to, it got so rough. There, Stacey as well. Thank you for the follow there. Oh, you was in Leigh-on-Sea and Southend during Easter there. I mean, Leigh-on-Sea, I'm a bit of a fan. That was the older, posher bit. I did quite like that one. But Southend, for us, sadly, just got two. We lived in quite close to High Street, and it used to be a wonderful place. Look, that's another, at the top of the screen there, it's another orangey one. But Southend got rough. Like, I used to love it. It was a magical place, and it got to the point where every day I'd walk to the high street to get a coffee to work, and I was either doing first aid on a heroin addict that passed out and cracked their skull open, or I was breaking up a fight, like a savage fight between shopkeepers and thieves, or people were smashing windows in the coffee shop, like literally every day. And I'm like, no, done. I'm done now. Too much of this metropolitan lifestyle. I'm going to the country where nobody is there. But I do miss the coastline there. I do miss that estuary there on a nice day. Absolutely stunning. A bit of Lee. Do like that. And I also missed the fact that there was a selection of pizza restaurants. There are not in the country here. And why is everybody following you, Harko? Because you're the tracking man, the tracking of the satellites there. And do you see any UFOs? Yeah, 100%. Keep your eyes peeled. We've already seen some anomalies tonight there, but we haven't seen that real slam dunk movement. But we have got a flasher. Can I get over to it in time? Right, where is it? It just flashed up around here, then disappeared. Anomalous. It's gone. Let's zoom in on this one.
Zoom mode activated.
So what we're looking out for, guys, is its behaviour. So it's following a straight path, and look, this one's been tracked. Oh, no, it's trying to track that one, and it got that one totally wrong. But yeah, as soon as it deviates, if it stop dead, if it hesitates, if it does a right angle turn there, interstellar handbrake turn, something like that, then we know we've got something strange on our screen. So keep your eyes peeled for that one there. But every night, but the Skywatches are busy for it there. Can we say they are definitely aliens? That they are definitely little green men flying around there? We can't say for sure, but we can filter out satellites, planes, shooting stars, all of the normal explanations. Then what are we left with other than the highly strange there? Nosing on the tubes there, Kate. Thank you for the shares there. Sorry, I missed so many lives there. Work's been crazy there and barely getting any time. No worries, Shannon. As I say to everyone, we love having you in, but never feel any pressure to show up there. And if it's been a while, You're not going to be guilted. You're always welcome back, even if it's just casual. Sometimes life has a better offer, and sometimes life is just busy, but you're always welcome when it works for you guys. There's never any pressure there. Just seen a meteor in Basingstoke Hills. Awesome there, Adama. That is a... We haven't seen any yet, so hopefully we're going to get some to come there. Do like that one. And Kerry, thank you for the follow. Oh, it changed. Yeah, it definitely changed. It's such a shame because it was such a lovely place, but very quickly as well. And No Vega is the one that's visible all night. Perfect A-up, so we are going to get some shooting star action there. Vega is Lyra shot. I don't know what I'm looking at. I just look for the movement. I don't know what I'm looking for. You guys tell me that there. Used to go to the air shows. See, that was because as a kid, I grew up in Basildon, and it's a new town. That's always been grotty there. So going to Southend was literally magical. Like the seaside, the amusements, the lights, and then you're a teenager, all of the bars and the music scene. It was great, and so I moved there as soon as I could. I was 18, and I was there until 37, so I stayed there a while, but yeah, no, it lost all of that, sadly. And Vaz there, we don't see the aliens due to they don't exist. So, Vaz, this is the thing. Now, what do you mean by they don't exist? Because mainstream science does believe that aliens are going to exist. We even had Obama saying that aliens exist there. And what they mean by that is that now we know that there are planets around all of these stars that we are seeing tonight, all these little dots, that they're just statistically is going to be so much life out there. Now, mainstream science won't necessarily say it's complex life or even a civilization, but life is looking to be absolutely abundant. But there is lots of evidence out there. I mean, we're quite late to the party with how far we've developed. We're middle of the universe's age. So there's been plenty of time for life to develop around many other stars there. Now, are they visiting us? Are these distances too vast? That's where we can have a conversation. But the actual mainstream scientific opinion is that aliens are real. There, where you security. If I was being paid for it, then it wouldn't have been so bad. But oh my god, it got bad. I'm just trying to go to work. I'm a soft office boy. I do spreadsheets now. I can't be doing that. But that was the cheapest tobacco in town, so I couldn't let my my local shop guy take the hit on that particular case. There, how you doing, Alfie? As well as Stacey there. Was that Padrini's is the best Italian? Oh, Padrini's there. My God, I was expecting to be a constellation because I can't pronounce those. There's a few. I do miss the restaurants in town. Here, where we are now, you've got a Domino's, you've got one Chinese, and you've got one Indian. Luckily enough, though, the Indian that we have here is literally the best Indian in the country, like by far. So that we lucked out there. But I haven't had a decent pizza in a very long time, and I'm craving it there. And I saw that it was flying and it flashed and then disappeared. How weird! Some of these ones are very anomalous there. Now we can't say for definite because you've got things like the Earth shadow and satellites can appear to flash, but you know it, don't you? When you see it and you see a few weird behaviours in a row, then you go, come on, that doesn't feel like it, but it's so hard to do it there. And Vaz satellites, yes, lots of them are going to be satellites. In fact, most of them by far are. There's about 16,000 man-made artificial satellites up there. There are a few organic ones as well, natural ones, a bit of rock here and there. The moon is a satellite. So technically all of our communication satellites, they are artificial satellites there, and that's what most of these things are going to be. But anything up there in low Earth orbit at the minute is going to be catching that sun's light and bouncing it back down to us, and that is what we're seeing tonight. Now, whether that's ET flying around or, as I said, a satellite is going to look very similar to us. So that is why we've got all this jazz on the screen at the minute. It is trying to identify the ones that are potentially behaving in ways that satellites just can't, because they have to follow certain rules. They are falling to Earth in a big circle, so they follow straight paths, consistent speeds. So variations from that, and then we know we definitely don't have a satellite there. And thank you for the shares, the Hermetic there. And I'm obsessed with the strange structures on the moon. Oh, 26, I only just got into that one, but on Mars as well there. And Benjamin there, some life in the universe is on TikTok there. Some of it is, right. I'm quickly popping back over to the tubes there, because you guys have been waiting patiently enough. I'm across a few chats tonight, guys, so you have to give us a second, because it takes me to catch up. Where did we get to? Right, I'm just going to start from here, there, and Vinny there. If they can create electricity from methane gas, why isn't electricity free there? As we have unlimited stuff coming out of our politicians, just plug them into the grid there. But this many ways to potentially generate energy. The big part of this is that something that they are keeping a secret there. And Wayfind, you've come over to the dark side with Kate as well over there. You check out the tube, see what everybody's like. If you do want to check out different platforms, guys, we're pretty much at the thing UFO on all of them there. So on the tubes, you said you can see things up the correct way. That's one part of it there. Right, where did we get to over here? Let's have a look there. Trying to scroll through. Where are we? Having chats in amongst yourselves there. And thank you, Maya. It takes me a while. And Zachary there, it's a noisy universe there. How can aliens not exist out there if they contribute to the racket? Well, this is a really interesting point. They do say quite often, don't they? Oh, we've got 2 orange ones coming in here tonight, guys. Have a look at these. Is that free in the
Zoom mode activated.
Yeah, remember, orange is an interesting one because they're just reflecting light back. So why are we getting distinct colour variation? That's got less orange, but it's still quite orange now. And orange is meant to be that signature of a warp drive there. The ionised plasma that might be coating said craft and glowing orange there. It's totally involuntary for the UFOs, they think, so keep an eye on them as they're moving across the screen, even if we are zooming out, guys. But look at the difference in colour from that one to that one there. Could be very interesting there. But yeah, noisy universe, they say, don't they, where is all the aliens? If life's out there, if aliens are out there, where is all the evidence? We'd see them. The truth is that we don't look. We take so little data. In fact, we take a hell of a lot of data, but in the scheme of things, it's so little. We are so poor at checking our local environment, let alone the wider universe, that we had a very large, I don't think it was a comet, it might have been a comet rather than an asteroid, go between Earth and the moon the other day. That's quite a close distance. That was last year, and they went, oh, that was a close call, and they knew it literally as it was going past. We had no notice on it. And things come in and out of our atmosphere all the time, and they do not know. So the truth is that there's plenty of room for it to be hidden, but there's lots of evidence, there's lots of strange signals, there's lots of strange behaviours of those distant stars, and we're now getting a lot of activity around things called biosignatures. And a biosignature is basically a clue that there might be some sort of process of biology going on around a distant planet and its and a distant star and its planets there. And so they're checking the atmospheres of these stars so far away, and then, or not the star, but basically as a planet transits in front of its host star, if that's between us and it there, then we'll basically see it go in front of that very, very distant star, and the light that passes literally on the edge of that planet through its atmosphere then reaches us here on Earth. They can break down what that light is made up of and guess what might be in the atmosphere, and if there's certain gases in the atmosphere, we know there's life. And they're seeing so much of that now that there is so many potential planets there hosting forms of life. But they can do the same thing for a techno-signature. There we go. That was a shooting star. Did you guys catch that on the tubes? On the tubes you would have, but on the TikTok, did you guys catch that? I think my box might have been covering it. But first shooting star of the night. But yeah, there's lots of evidence for life and stuff going on there as well. What's that? Request a view on a rotating ball there. Where was the moon? What do you mean, where was the moon with a rotating ball? As in, how did it form? There. And where are we there? Mr. Ms. there as well. How are you doing? Good to see you. I like that. Evening Skywatchers. And walking from Hadrian's Wall there, countryside, Northumberland. Love that. So you're out and about at the minute there. I bet you've got a fantastic sky for that one tonight there. Zachary, an ET craft that we can track. It doesn't seem possible there. And it's going very fast to opt for the pixels. So this is a very good, a very interesting point here. You know, technically, if ET is able to travel from those distant stars that are coming all this way to Earth there, the only way they could really do that would be through warp drive. Now, you can make a warp drive without breaking physics in real life. That has been figured out. We just don't have the energy to build one ourselves. Now, if they are doing that, then that technology can go really fast. Why would they bother doing these sorts of visible speeds on our screen right now? And that is a very good question. There's not always going to be the case, but a lot of the argument is the same way you have gears in your car. Just sometimes you don't want to go as fast. Either you're paying attention, you've got a junction coming up. I think there's possibility, but I think this raises the point that we're not going to see everything. We're not going to have the chance to see everything. And a lot of them, especially if they're off back home to Zeta Reticuli, you know, they're going to be going pretty fast there. And watching from Bristol. Was you in the other night from Bristol? Was having the chat about the Bristol hum there as well. And we are broadcasting live from the UK. Thank you, Mayor, for the reminder there. So, guys, if you are just joining us, we're doing a live UFO UAP at Skywatch tonight there. So, coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country, but just down the road from Stonehenge. So, lots of strange things in these skies over the years. So, keep your eyes peeled. There, say hello in the chat if you're new. Let us know where you watch from. Tell us your stories. If you've experienced anything, any questions as well, do ask away. It's going to take me a second to get to you because I'm running 2 chats tonight. But do let me know there. But give us a follow or a subscribe wherever you are, because then that way you get those notifications when we go live. And we are on pretty much every night. If it's a clear night, as this week is looking very clear, then we're doing this, the UFO UAP Skywatch. If the moon's up and it's clear, we do that, and that's what it looks like. We look at the moon. The moon's weird, guys. If it's cloudy, we do an alien radio signal hunt there. We've got a big dish, point to the night sky, listen out, hoping to hear potentially ET saying hello. The Time Lords rule the galaxy there. Doctor Who's Crazy Clothing Chronicles. I've got a story about Doctor Who's scarf there. And where are we tonight as well? There's Sydney. How are you doing there as well? And Vinny there. If the Earth was created by rocks, dust, etc., under gravity and high temperatures, how can it be flat? And that defies physics. So it's really interesting. We have lots of theories of how the Earth formed, how the moon has formed with it as well. But they are just theories. Some we're more confident in than others. I say we as the mainstream community are there. But essentially, that is it. You know, it kind of bonds together there. But the what happens as part of that process is that because of that, the more mass that gets together, the more gravity, which pulls those things in, which basically creates friction and heat, and it's molten, hence why we've got a molten core there. Hence why the sun is a big fusion reaction. They say it's the gravity that is pulling all that gas together there, and because it's under so much pressure, it's causing a fusion reaction there, roughly, is what's going on there. But yeah, they thought, you know, all of these things, the rocky planets formed as molten, and they cooled down, and Mars actually cooled down before we did, and was therefore habitable 2 billion years before we was. But they think in those early days, just after, you know, the Earth had started to cool, it was smacked into by another planet, Mars-sized, they've labelled Theia, and they think that in that splat, it kind of all went around and reformed as the new Earth, and with what's left of the moon. That is the running theory for that one. And where are we in the chat? Oh my god, I scratched where I'm catching up on this one here. And satellites don't exist there. So, I mean, we did that apparently, even by mainstream stuff, that it's balloons. So that was the early, before we had the modern satellites, they did use big balloons for that. But that doesn't explain their orbits, though. That's for me. Because how the orbits are around. So still got questions there. And where are we? Indian food is the best. Oh, yeah, 100%. And when you've got the best Indian, that's where we're going to have to hold our meet up, I think, guys, there. Stop it, future flat earther. One day you'll get me to the dark side there. And that's a good question. Have you seen anything unusual in Swindon there? And let's have a look there. And no, I've done that one there. And Zachary, planets are forming and fermenting new life forms. Well, one of we've got the accretion model, basically, which is what we just described of how planets form. But there are other models that actually may in some cases do a better job. Some people theorize, and they've got some interesting evidence for it, that actually the stars birth planets and they slowly migrate outwards. And I mean, it's beyond me to understand if the science is good or bad, but I mean, some interesting angles on it there. And Adele, that you jumped over from TikTok to see what it's all about. You can have it on the big screen there with the tubes, can't you? And my eyes there. Mazungu is a word, and I heard every day. And I lived in East Africa. I probably got it totally wrong there. It just means a white man, so I use it as a joke. I like it, but I probably got the word wrong. My eyes is terrible. The YouTube chat is doing my nutting because it's so small and you can't make it any bloody bigger. It's very frustrating there. But I appreciate you guys and your patience there, and your explanations there are very well crafted there. So, thank you, Zach. It's very, very kind of you. But I'm muddling through, and I learn it all from you guys as we go, because that is the brilliant part about the internet. Is people will tell you when you're wrong, and that way we can all learn as well there. And we had oh, that was it. It was you from the Bristol one. Yeah, that was it. I'm going to start to learn. I will learn. I'm on better with the YouTube, the Twitch side of things, but YouTubers. We'll remember for next time there. And Zep Bearded there. And can't believe I've just come across your channel. Well, thank you for joining us. And welcome to the dark side, the cool side of the internet there. You're all very, very welcome here. And it is a little bit of a community. You'll be surprised how many nights you'll be hanging out with us here, because we are here pretty much most nights. And you're all very, very welcome. And even if you're skeptical, you are still very welcome too there as well. It's always good to have a mix of opinions there, as long as everybody is respectful. But good to see you there. And or do just the subject. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate that. Joining our little community. Where are you from there, Bearded? If I am getting that right, it's such small text there. I'm probably getting everybody's names massively, massively wrong. So you have to forgive me there, but do correct me and then I can get it right next time. And Dave, the Rave, I like that one. 2 billion suns in our own galaxy alone. It's such a vast number, isn't it? There, you know the number, we know what it means, but can you feel it? Can you picture it there? No,
Zoom
I
mode
can't.
activated.
It's just words. There is just so many possibilities. And look how bright and that one, fast that one is there. Now keep your eyes on it as I come back off there. We need to see it do something strange. If it was that big and it does something strange, that would be brilliant. The tracking is still having a bit of a sulk tonight, but it'll get there. But yeah, the 2 billion stars in our own universe here, and they've recently actually did a bit of a search. Now got some more decent telescope equipment. They can do this. They've been looking for our sun's siblings there, because all these stars are different. They're made up of different elements there. They burn different things at different temperatures. Different light comes off of them. They're all different sizes. Quite a range. But we've been looking for our star siblings, because the way they form in these clouds, these stellar nurseries they call it there, you'll get a few similar ones, and they've found over 6,000 of our star's siblings there. And I mean, the whole story behind that as well. But we know life can exist around this type of star as our starting point. So we know they're probably one of the best places to look for life. But saying that, we are getting so many detections of potential biosignatures from these distant planets from quite a range of different stars already. It's looking like life is going to be absolutely abundant. It's already incredibly abundant here in our own solar system there. We know how diverse life is here on Earth. There's a species, an organism, something for every niche, every environment there. But there are signs, and we've known that there is active life on Mars. We detected on multiple occasions active microbial life on Mars back in the 70s there, and since then we have only found more and more evidence to support it. Now the mainstream scientists won't confirm it 100% until they can get their hands on it physically and dot all of their I's, but the evidence has been screaming at us for a long time, and even the clouds of Venus are giving off these biosignatures. There could be microbes giving off a gas that is in those clouds. So if 3 planets in a row in one solar system have life, it's probably going to be absolutely everywhere there. No, how though. And Zachary there as well. I feel ET can manage without genders but cannot function without a foundation. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Like, what do we call things that are foundational to us there, and are they foundational to ET? They could be so different from the things that we and how we interact and perceive our universe. Life could be so much stranger, and there's a big case to be made for plasma, sentient plasma life here. We may be observing it. There are so many accounts now, as technology is moving on, we're able to record it, that there are these plasmoids. They seem to be displaying the behaviours of life, and this is something that we're doing over on our Patreon deep dives at the moment. There, we're reading what's called the Condine Report, and that was a UK government report into the UFO phenomena. And out of that report came a few interesting things. A, UFOs are real. We don't know what they are. But B, we need to really look into the plasmoids. They are presenting a big case that there could be a sentient life that has been here on Earth the whole time, but so different from us there. So the universe could be so weird there. And Adele there, I've just subbed as it's loads better there. That's what happened to Raf. He came over, TikTok through a sulk for during, I think it was October, and a few of us did. We went to YouTube there, and a few of you didn't come back there. You like it. It's normally the quieter channel, but YouTube's really been firing off the last few days there. But thank you for the subs and all of that there. And hello from the other side. Perfect, Raf. 10 points, Gryffindor there. And been the UFO from the age of been into UFOs from the age of 8 there, and I've seen something that I'll never forget. And you're from Swindon. There's a few of you guys in Swindon. You know, you're not far from us. We're in Wiltshire as well. We are down in Warminster, so we're not too far from you guys there. A little bit more in the country. I've spent many a time in Swindon though. There. What sort of things have you seen? I'd love to hear about those. If you want to share them, that is there. Where are we? And is that wow, my eyes can't is it WAL or WAI, were we there? And Giddy from New Zealand, I think you're our first from New Zealand, welcome aboard there. And also saying hi from Warwickshire, another one there. Gaza, good to have you in there. Yeah, so we're coming from Warminster, which had its own UFO flap here in the 60s and 70s. Look up the Warminster thing, hence where we get our name. Phenomenal encounter that I'd never heard of there. And Marie there, what's my name, children? What's that one? And, oh god, there's some movement on the screen. Keep your eyes on it, guys. We need to see that strange behaviour for it. There's a strange movement. Stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course, its trajectory there. And when all there, hello from Bristol again there. I work into Bristol. I was in Bristol today there. Good to see you in there. And the stars seem closed tonight there. And that's where they were last Tuesday. I mean, this is the thing. If you speed up the stream, if you watch one of our videos back, drag the little slider across there, you'll notice the move across the night sky. We're actually looking at a part of the sky that we don't normally look at. This is over the town. Normally it's a bit too bright, but this is where the meteor shower is. So we wanted to make sure that we catch that tonight. So this is a bit of a fresh patch for us here tonight there. And we just need to find intelligent life on Earth before trying to find it. And that might be too hard for our scientists these days. There, Vinny. And all intelligent life is on this channel. Exactly there. And Keza, how are you doing there? If you messed around and thrown out of class and detention at school in the 80s there, we were sent to a room to read and copy info on the galaxy there, and more interested in motion. 100%, I would have been straight in that room. That just sounds a lot more fun. The missus used to work in a secondary school as a cover teacher a few years ago, so quite recently. And this just tells you, you know, back in the day, you would have been thrown around and clipped around the ear. Today, they had something. If somebody was being naughty, they would send them to the Calm Down Cottage, and I shit you not, that's what it was called, the Calm Down Cottage. There, ridiculous. And I'm glad you two are getting on over there. Where are we? Let me scroll through here, there, and Zachary there. The sun is a plasma, and therefore it must be sentient, but on an epic scale there, an ancient Egyptian god, like Ra maybe. Well, that dips into panpsyism, that basically there's a degree of sentience in anything then closely linked to sort of mass, the more sentience. But sentience doesn't mean it's like our experience, you know. Like, there's a weird phenomena that nations and groups of people act differently to the individual. So you can predict normally what individuals do, but nations are much difficult, or groups of people are much more difficult. And like us in our body, we've got all these cells, and we've got all these bacteriums. We are the amalgamation of all of these things. We feel as one. We are that reality sliced at this level. Maybe at those bigger scales, there's a different experience like that for there as well there. And right, let's quickly get back over to the tubers. Not tubers, the TikTokers. You guys have been waiting patiently there. Oh my God, I've been Agent X there. How you doing? Thank you for the gifts there. And 26 too, and your average as well. Good to see you in. Amy Lee, Carl, average again there. Thank you guys for the gifts. That's very, very kind of you. Appreciate that. It all goes back into the stream. Now I'm a few messages behind here, and TikTokers thankfully scrolled all the way to the bottom, so I don't know where I was. So give me a second, and I will catch up to see where I was in the chat here, so I can read all your messages. That is my favourite bit. Obviously, getting cool things on screen is good, but I like to hear all of your messages there. So it does take me a second going across a few chats, but you have to give me a second, but we will catch up with them. Oh my God, I'm really scrolling up here, so I'm going to have to just pick where I am now. Oh no, I got to the right part there. He saw it and it's flashing, then it disappeared there. And coming in with the shares there, Hermetic, and I'm obsessed with the strange structures on the moon. Yeah, and the Mars as well. There's some very interesting pictures now. We're getting all this high-res data. There is some strange shenanigans afoot there. Our linear understanding of human development, or even just the solar system and life as well, that linear is just no longer a good explanation. It's much more complicated than that, and we need to pull our fingers out and develop a more complicated model that accounts for all the variables that we do see and experience there. And Benjamin there, some life in the universe is in TikTok, only some of it there. And oh, did you see my new discovered sky tracker? No! Oh, no, Harker, no, I did see it. I saw the screenshot. I haven't been on the website, but I did see the big picture of it there. Shannon coming in with the shares. Kate as well there. I appreciate that, guys. It is the shares, the likes, the tapping away. It does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. But if you... Oh, Thomas, if you're still in, I asked you the other day, what is your name? And then I can look at it. So you're going to have to stop coming in and complaining unless you let us know what it is so we can solve it. There. Right, but yeah, if you are just joining us, we are doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. We are searching for the strange and anomalous in the night skies, live from Wiltshire here in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So a long history of the weird and wonderful in these night skies. So do pay attention, and we'll zoom in on this very, very strange stuff. There's lots of movement there. Most of it is going to be satellites, earthbound things like that, but not all of it. If you pay attention, that some of them will act strangely, and therefore they could be something much more anomalous there, and it does happen a few times a night there. And Stacey, and it's on the front more west way. I think I had my 18th birthday there. That is going back a few years now. Oh my God, it's going back 20 years. Jesus. Carl.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you for feeding Alan there. And how do they not crash into each other? Brilliant question. So what we're seeing at the minute is more like, it's like a 2D version of it. But really, a lot of them, they're all at different heights, basically, off of the Earth, different altitudes. So when they look like they're going to crash, if you look sideways, they're actually at sort of different sort of altitudes. But there's a big fear that the more we put up there, the higher the risk of a crash is. And if one splats into 1,000 pieces, then that's 1,000 speeding bullets for those other ones in that orbit, and then that's another one that could be taken out. And they do worry about this this Kessler syndrome, like a snowball effect of danger. A good spot in there, Harko. And come fly with me. Is there a specific time of night most satellites are in the Earth shadow? Yeah, so basically the longer after you get after dark, the more that Earth shadow comes round, and then the less of that light is there, the further out they have to be to then still be shining that light back. So it's quietening down a bit now. We're only getting a couple on the screen, where we did have like 9 or 10 on the screen at any one point earlier. So that is, we're getting just the further away ones really as that Earth shadow comes round. But what's really interesting is when it's fully round and we get a really big bright one come across the screen. They are rarer, but where's it getting that light from? You know, is it emitting light? Is it potentially a craft then? You're right, it's getting pretty popular across multiple platforms. And Peekaboo, Agent X, good to see you there. And Alfie, there's probably more life in the solar system. I 100%, I think there is a lot of smoke, and I think that there is going to be fire behind that for a lot of it now. And we've had the hints of this all along. One of the things that just makes me laugh, and I think it sums up our modern day scientific approach. Science is brilliant for locking things in, but it's not the tool you use all of the time. It's like if I used a hammer for every problem I have, it's not always appropriate. And this thing, like, it's only very, very recently, and I'm talking like, you know, single digit years, that we're fully accepted that Mars had oxygen, atmosphere, water, was very Earth-like. They've speculated it, but they wouldn't go too far with it there. And yeah, it turns out Mars is red because it had oxygen. That was what had oxygenized the iron in the soil, essentially rusted it, and that's why it's looked red to us for all of time. So the evidence has been there, and logic would have told you that, but science has only recently just confirmed it. You know, they're a bit late to the party there. And thank you for the super chat there as well. I do appreciate that, and it all goes back into the stream there, help us improve what we do there. And if you are new here this evening, welcome. We have a brilliant Discord. We do have a brilliant Discord, which AUP is, AUP and Harko, I think, are doing quite a lot of work there with all of the news and information, the latest details there. So do link in the bio for that. It's a very active community though, but lots of news on the latest UFO phenomena stuff there. Also your own personal accounts with the phenomena. We'd welcome you to put yours in there, images and videos too, or you can just read through. They're all quietly. Or join us this Friday for our movie club there. Will Free Eye Atlas come back? So, Hermetic, by the Prozac, the mainstream explanation, no. And it hasn't done anything yet that could do it. But if it does come back, if it is a little bit stranger, if there is some element of control around it, then that is immediately incredibly anomalous there. But it's not expected to there. And Trippered there, did you hear JWST there detected both an atmosphere and liquid water on the TRAPPIST-1? I was on TRAPPIST-1 there. I know. So James Webb has discovered so many interesting things there. So I didn't know it got that far yet. But it is James Webb that got the biosignatures, isn't it? From no, it wasn't James Webb, it's Kepler, hence the name. No, it was James Webb, but that was discovered by Kepler, hence the name. Sorry, going off on a tangent. But yeah, K2-18b, so a very large super Earth planet there, that they've analysed that atmosphere around it, and they think, you know, there is a strong amounts of a gas that, as far as we know, is only made by algae, basically, there. So it looks like there's life there. But in that community of the people, the astrobiologists looking at all this stuff, they're getting so many of these detections. It looks like life is just absolutely bloody everywhere in various forms. Now, is it all intelligent? Is it all, civilizations? Most likely not. but there's still going to be a lot of them out there. So that's a brilliant one, Triple, there, because I hadn't heard of that one. But, you know, we're slowly uncovering the map of the universe, like when you start a video game and, you know, the map's grayed out. You know, it's all blurry for us, but we're just doing some detail in, little bit by little bit there. We need a meteor shower sticker. Oh, we do. We need to get the sticker packs back as well there. And Rio and Amy there, thank you for the gifts. And Rio feeding Alan. Where are we? Let's have a look. Scroll up into the chat. God, I'm so far behind. Tackling 2 chats tonight, guys. Let's have a look. Oh my God, where is it there? I'm so far behind. Let me speed through a few of these so I can catch up. Oh my God, I am so far behind TikTok. You'll have to forgive me. Oh my God. I am there. Mr. Shooting Star, you sneezed. Blink and you miss it out. There'll be more there. And the moon is a big balloon under the dome. Oh, they've got you, Agent X there. Kate coming in with the shares there. And Jonathan there. Isn't it great to be part of a community? Like-minded. And just know. And thanks to yourselves there. That is the biggest thing. When I'm not on with you guys, I get a bit sad. I miss hanging out with you guys. And, you know, chewing things over. What's been the latest news? Have you seen anything? You know, I love it. That is we come for the aliens, but we stay for the friends we made along the way there. We've got the pretty triangles tonight, Agent X. It's Raf's favourite. We're going to call it Raf 5000. We're going to name the tracker. I'm actually going to do that. It's the Raf 5000 tracker now, satellite tracker. And don't forget, if you have a passport. Oh my God, I forgot about the passports. I'm not going to be able to keep up with it there. He's a bit lazy. It's bad, Harko. We'll keep working on it there. And I think it's because the Earth's atmosphere extends out hundreds of thousands of kilometers there. Oh, what's that one? So it's very interesting. Actually, I didn't realize this, but yeah, because that atmosphere obviously just gets thinner and thinner and thinner, but there is quite a grey area. They consider space, but like, you know, stuff can still rust up there. They have to consider that with satellites in the space station because the oxygen coming off, you know, it's crazy. Didn't even know that one. You think of space as a pretty much a vacuum, but it isn't as dense as vacuum, you know, as we first thought there. You're new here, Aiden X, of course. Pill the eyes. That is the images I'm getting there, Kate. There, and Mark the Plasterer, thank you for the shares there. I appreciate that, guys. It is the likes, the shares that happen where it helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. The more friends we make, the more people share their experiences, and the more we can all learn. There, and come follow me in Northern Ireland tonight. There's an annoying haze limiting the visual magnitudes there. Oh, honestly, I get so frustrated with the weather. It blows my mind. And Electron, thank you. Very, very generous of you there. I do appreciate that, sir. It's very, very kind of you there. But yeah, honestly, doing a Skywatch stream with British weather, bad idea. That's why we do the alien radio signal hunt. We did a lot of them over the winter there. The red one, you spotted the red one there. Good, spotting there, Lee as well. And it's a windy night in Kent there. So I don't think it's too bad for us here. As well there. I will get back over to tubers in a second. I've just got so much to catch up with on the tubes there. Until the aliens come down to Earth in front of us, no one is going to believe aliens are real. Thomas, and you're very much right there about that, because this is the thing, the mainstream media doesn't have a lot of that knowledge tree that we've spoken about before to know that it can exist. And like that, this is still a big part. Even a lot of the scientific community, even though that the correct part of science now thinks life is going to be absolutely abundant, most of it's still in the 90s when they didn't know there were planets around these other
zoom mode activated.
Around these other stars. Look how blue that one is. That isn't just a minty fresh blue. That's a real blue. Look, it's trying to track it. Hold on. Oh, has it gone? Oh, we missed that one. Looks like we're targeting them. Hold on, I'm going to get an angry ET. But that is the thing, we know without that understanding, and we're starting to maybe get those bits, and this may be what is happening with disclosure. The NASA coming out and going, well, lads, we do think there was life on Mars now. Here's a little bit, and then that will be that they'll admit that there is life on Mars, and then the general public will know that life can exist off of the Earth. That's step one. And then we'll get that confirmation of K218b. I mean, those Cambridge scientists are pretty convinced. They'll confirm that and go, well, there is life in the distance, you know, and then it's much less of a step for the mainstream people to kind of take the experiences that a lot of you guys have had to more seriously. But at the minute, that's a big gap that we're asking them to jump if they haven't had that experience. But slowly, the more information we get, that gap gets smaller, and therefore maybe they can take a leap of faith there. And Amy, thank you for the roses. And if satellites don't exist, and then where did I point at 2,000 sky dishes to? I mean, you know, they just had you doing it to keep the agenda going, Agent X there. Good spine, Harko. And J-Car there, what do you think about the lizard men? So this, long ago, have I put anything that I'd write anything of now? Like, the world is just so strange, and also the things that I thought to be true and how I had such convictions in my belief, left or right. I'm so like, I know nothing now. So I will never say anything's 100, but the lizards people, I've not done a lot of looking into it yet, so I don't have a lot of that supporting understanding to really be kind of deep down that rabbit hole. But I wouldn't be surprised if I looked that would make sense. Hold on. Take the shot. It looks like we're targeting them there, doesn't it? What is ET going to think? But yeah, I mean, I'm open to it, but I know about it, I can understand it in sort of a theoretical sort of framework, but in a plausibility, I've not seen directly much evidence myself. I've seen lots of sort of casual reports, but I haven't got a good structure, if that makes sense, to kind of give it a lot of weight personally. But that doesn't mean that it's not out there. It's probably more a reflection that I haven't gone down those roads yet. And because I think, look, if we are going to get life out there, why not lizard people? And if one species is able to visit us, well, then that means the technology is possible, and it means probably many are and have visited us there. Did I miss any pirate treasure boxes? I don't think you did tonight, actually, there. And I don't know about the lizard men, but the ant men need to give me my magic resource printing device. That's going to be on your headstone, isn't it? It's a reference back to one of our deep dives and what was claiming to be a whistleblower leaking some information. We wasn't a fan of it there. And your average femboy there, are those meteors going off now? So there we've had a couple of meteorites tonight, but most of those that we're seeing moving there, they're actually most likely going to be satellites, man-made satellites there. But what we're looking out for are the ones that act a little bit strange, the ones that stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. Something like that is going to tell us that actually what we're seeing cannot be a satellite. Now, to take it to the next step, is it ET waving as it goes by? We don't have the technology to do that, but we can say, well, it's definitely bloody anomalous, because planes can't do that, satellites can't do that, shooting stars. But we have to pay attention and enjoy the show that nature kind of puts on as we are waiting there. And Daniel as well, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in tonight. And like Daniel, guys, if you're not following us or subscribed, whichever it is for your platform, do make sure you do that. We're live pretty much every night. They're doing something like this. If it's a clear night or if it's a cloudy night, we get that big dish out and we listen for potential alien radio signals to there and hang out and chat about the UFO stuff. We want you all on board for that. Do say hello. It's going to take me a few minutes to get through all of the chats and catch up, but I do want to read all of your messages there. Kate coming in with the shares, and average friend, thank you for the follow. And Susie's in as well there. Good to see you, Susie. And the lasers make the stream look like the last Starfighter. It is a bit... oh, can you ask where? Thomas, go ahead for it. So can I ask... No, wait, no, I've done it. The lasers, yeah. So the lasers is our tracking software. Now, we're building this ourselves in-house, and that's why it's crap. But like a lot of these things, it's got to learn there. So it does use machine learning, and hopefully the more it gets correct, it learns how to identify the stars versus those moving dots. Because if you look, those dots, the ones that are moving versus the ones that aren't, the stars versus the satellites, they look pretty similar. It's just motion that's the difference. And it takes a lot for a computer to kind of tell the difference there, especially with the different brightnesses, the different sizes and speeds. So hopefully it's going to get more accurate the more we train it. Oh, there was a little shooting star on the screen there. Didn't pick up that one, so didn't get that false one. That's good. The idea is that it looks for motion, and then it follows that motion, and if it's been enough, it will put a target over the movement there, and then it will use where it's been to draw a straight line and then predict a straight line in front of it. And if it's a satellite, again, it's going to follow those straight lines. They're falling to Earth in a big circle there. So then it will follow it along, and if it follows the straight predicted path, then it's probably a satellite and it'll be green. And the idea is, though, it goes red if it stops dead, shoots off a speed, changes its direction. If it does something a satellite can't do, it's meant to go red so we can look. Because when these skies are alive during the summer, and like it was earlier tonight, it is so difficult to see, to keep your eyes on all of them. So that's why we're training it. But as you can tell, it loses them, it gets them slightly wrong, but keep your eyes on the skies there. And why does everyone forget about Mercury? Good question. I mean, Mercury's an interesting one. One of my favorite theories around Mercury is that maybe that is the core, because it's quite a weird planet. It's very, very metal, mostly metal there. It's basically almost like an exposed planetary core. So they do think, the one person was putting this theory together, that the planet that hit the Earth, the proto-Earth in the early days there, and caused that to then create the moon, I think maybe the core just kept on going basically, and got caught next to the sun in orbit there, and that's the core left over from that planet. And now we've got the moon because we merged with the surface material of that planet. And if it's an outer solar system planet, maybe that's where all the biological material came from, the Earth, because planets are meant to be quite rocky this close to the sun. They're not meant to have all the biologics that we here depend on for our for life to exist. So it's some interesting theories. It's a strange one, isn't it? But there as well. And Jonathan there, skeptics are welcome there, and your followers and yours will educate them, and they should know. I think this is the thing, like skeptics are definitely welcome there, because for two reasons. A, obviously we think we've got something to share. We think, look guys, if you just look with an open mind, I think you'll be curious. Now, we can't claim to know 100%. Now, if you've had that direct experience, I can understand why people might feel quite passionately like 100% on these things, but realistically, most of us are just processing the information around us and coming to a conclusion there. So I can't say I don't fully know what's going on. I know which way I lean, I know which way I believe, but I'm here, I see myself as here to facilitate the conversation there, and the skeptics can have that part in that conversation. And if they come away not believing, then that's fine, but maybe they've got something interesting to add. Maybe there's something stupid that we're doing that's stopping us from getting really good data. And if they can come in, because look, sometimes your enemy is actually your best friend there, because they're the ones that are going to be so quick to point out the stupid things that you're doing, and if you listen and you take that on board, you can refine what you're doing there. So definitely everybody is welcome there. And I don't understand why they land on Mars and the poles on the supervolcanoes. Signs of life might be there. Well, their behavior around Mars is always strange there. They were originally going to land in the Cydonia region, which is not only where they think that the ground zero for that nuke went off was, they've got those anomalous readings there, but also where all those structures seem to be in the photographs, the face on Mars. And then as soon as we got that picture of the face on Mars, no, we don't want to land there anymore. So there's a lot of strange behavior there, and Elon just wants to be the first to check the tech and the Mars pyramids and face. I don't know. I get the feeling that Elon is mostly what he says on the tin, mostly. Not to say there isn't a bit of going around there, but that type of personality, I genuinely don't think he believes in aliens. I think I know engineers, and they're very, very literal people, and I don't think he knows anything particularly secret there. I think he literally just is like hyper autistically focused on we need to get to Mars, like that. That for me is a reasonable one, but you never know, you don't know. But whoever gets us there, as long as they get us there. And would we have had this current resurgence in space without Musk? Whatever you think of the man, at least more eyes are on the skies there. And Thomas there, do you believe in aliens yourself there, since you have so much knowledge in UFOs and aliens? Good question there. I don't know that much. I just hear a lot. I hear the same things that you guys hear, but I do. So this is an interesting question, because it's a percentage of belief, isn't it there? Like, is aliens out there? 100%. Are they visiting us? Top 90s. I think there's quite a good amount of evidence for that. But then people's specific cases, Travis Walton, am I 50%? Am I 40%? 49, 51? Without more information, without knowing the guy personally. So there's different shades of it. But it's an interesting question there. See if a good spot in there, and everyone knows Swindon there. New Zealand is cool. It's a record for us there. First one there, clouded over. So not going to get the stargazing. Oh, Rachel. Well, at least you can join us here tonight there. I'm sure you'll get plenty of chances there. And Alfie there. Warminster is near Westbury, right? Where the big hills are. That's 100% it. Yes, Alfie. We are literally next door to Westbury. Next town over. And they've got the big white horse on the hillside there. And can't talk now. Everyone decided to go to bed. Oh, well, you can just hang out with us and watch there. So, and thanks for answering. No worries, Thomas there. You got to let us know what your name was on YouTube, so I can actually look into it and see what's going on for you there, so you can join us there as well. And Jonathan, at school in the 80s, was shocking there. You got hit and it wasn't good. It was pretty bad. My school experience wasn't particularly violent, but it was shocking in a lot of other ways there. And Oslo, how are you doing there? Are you viewing the Lyra Meteor Shower? Yes, we are. We've had a couple tonight, but that is what we are viewing tonight. That and for UFOs as well. So a bit of nature putting on a show. Also a little bit of the anomalous, if we are lucky too. Where are you joining us from there? And Banana Man, thank you for the follow there. And we need to have a northern meet-up. We need to do the road show there. And Elijah, the Meteor Shower. Yes, we've already seen a couple tonight, so keep your eyes peeled. We're going to see more and more there. And Shark Sandwich. I saw a UAP yesterday there, and actually caught 2 pictures of it. Now, if you post them, tag us in it. We'd love to see that one, because it's actually pretty difficult. My personal experience, you see something strange, you forget to take a picture, and if you do, you're so focusing on the thing, you take a bad one. So yeah, I'd love to see one there. And Bearbuster there, could they get light from the moon? Oh, I mean, yeah, well, the moon is illuminated. You know, that reflection there, when you're on the surface, it's so bright on the surface, it kills your night vision, so you can't see that faint light from the stars. There's no stars in the sky there. And 777, how are you doing? Good to hear. Live near Stonehenge. Yeah, we're about 10-15 minutes away from Stonehenge, so not too far, but there's lots of those stones around here there. And Lula Bell and Harko coming in with the shares. Kate, Richie too are there. Richie, where are you joining us from tonight? Good to have you in there. And do you have some frozen lines there? Yeah. And Drewski, Starling seems very interested in your part of the sky tonight. If you think, right, what we're looking at is, if you do that and point up to the night sky, that is about how much we're seeing. And then you think of how many, like earlier on in the stream, was in there. And that we're not seeing all of them. And that's all the time for every part of the night sky. And just think how many they want to put up there. If we're at 15, 16,000 now, think how many there's going to be when they're at 40,000 or more there. Cara, we are hopefully going to catch the meteor shower. I've already caught a few of them, so hopefully we're going to see many, many more. If you hang around, you'll definitely see some there. And Belly as well. Thank you for the follow there. Good for the Amy. And you saw the last shooting start. Good. You got one eventually. You didn't sneeze that time there. Do you remember? Also, do you know you can now buy portable perimeter radar? No, Agent X 100% sent me that. That is very, very, very cool there. And is the grid interacting with the tracker? It shouldn't be, no. The tracker's on a separate thing, doesn't have the grid overlaid on it there. Loving the stickers there. Kate and Mark is in as well, and Jonathan exactly there. And Cara, are you watching? Yes, we are watching that one tonight, so keep hanging around there. We need the Northern and Southern HQ. We do. Right, tubers, you have been ever so patiently awaiting. So let me just see where we got to in the chat, and I will catch up with you guys there. Where are we there? And what's the chance there? Is that Michael's there? What's the chance of any satellites colliding with each other? So it's getting greater. It's not like immediately, but there are hundreds of movements with these satellites per day to adjust so they avoid debris or themselves. They think that we are 2 days away from disaster with that, and that means that if we lose contact with them for 2 days and we can't adjust those courses, then that will just be a knock-on effect that they can't get back from. So it could look dodgy, and if that happens, all that debris flying around up there, no satellites, we're very dependent on those now for our ways of modern life. But also it gets you just can't launch anything into space, you can't bring anything back down. It's crazy if that does happen, so you have to be careful there. Hydration Mine, thank you there out there, and there is a chance that it would be a disaster, as the debris would be like a domino effect, and then it would, and it's how long would a low Earth orbit and space basically be closed off to us? Some people think 10 years, some people think 100 years there as well. And Baseman there, if you ever decide to do a live in-person Skywatch there, let me know, please. That would be nice, that we could all go for a curry. Or hey, we are actually planning on doing something. I haven't figured out exactly what yet, because you'll be surprised. Even though this is a bit of just a casual live stream, there are so many legal and boring red tape requirements that we have to make sure we abide by if we're doing a live Skywatch. But we do want to arrange something for the summer to do a little bit of meet up for Alan's birthday. So at some point, if you're around, you'll hear about it. Definitely be on the Discord. So guys, if you want to join a Discord for various reasons, all the cool things are on there, plus the updates there, links in the bios for those there. So it's broadcasting on multiple platforms, so thank you for the reminder there, yeah, 100%. We're across 3 at the minute, so I have to bounce between the chats, so it's going to take me a while. But thank you for being patient. I do want to read your messages. It just takes me a minute to get there. So my favourite part is hearing about all of your accounts with the phenomena. Oops, some lasers going across there. And what's that one? Because Umwelt there, one of the few things I remember learning about, in the detention room there, a very interesting word explaining how each species has a unique level of life experience and understanding. You know what? I don't know about that. You've got to tell us more on that one, but I think, those layers, they say if you could speak to a shark, you wouldn't have anything to say. Because again, how we experience the world, it's like, as the weather, it's not going to be concerned about the weather. It's out in all things, unless it's not particularly bad. It's out. So much of it is, is our language, our concepts for things there as well. And as Marie says there, as Ayup says there, like and subscribe, we do appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat there as well. Appreciate that. It all goes back into stream there, helping us improve what we're doing there. Adam coming in with the gifts as well, and Bella as well there. Is that Belle or Belle E there? Belle I. there. So my eyes are awful tonight, but thank you for the gifts. It's very, very kind. And there, did they find bones on Mars? Some people think they do. The images that they're seeing on Mars and the moon, like, they're in that grey area. You go, that really bloody doesn't look natural. But without being there, I couldn't say 100%. But there's so many anomalous stuff up there. Like, you go, what the hell is going on there? You know, something called alien cookies. Just smoking something called alien cookies. I mean, that sounds like a party there. Love our green family. Up at 100% there. We are so lucky. Well, I'm definitely lucky to hang out with you all night. There we go. There's a shooting star. There we go. That was a cool one. Now, last night we got a perfect one right down the middle of the screen. Absolutely stunning. Bright green. You saw the nucleus, the tail. Absolutely stunning. Let's keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be loads tonight there. And Vinny, thank you again for this. This is the best channel on YouTube there, and everyone that makes it. So thank you, Vinny. And I couldn't have said it better myself, like about everyone there. Absolutely amazing. It's very, very kind. And also the super chat there is very, very kind as well there. Absolute star as always there. And how you doing, Nathan, as well? Sorry, it's taken me so long to get around to there. And Baseman, the star in the centre of D3, was that moving and then stopped there? It's so hard to tell, isn't it? Did anybody else catch that? Because sometimes I'll be wait a minute, did that out in the corner? But without tracking each individual one, you can't know for sure. But that's why hopefully we're going to be doing the tracker that's going to be able to detect those movements more accurately when it pulls its finger out. I mean, but what the hell was that laser shooting across the screen there? But when it's more accurate there, we can hopefully catch those micro movements out of it there. It's a good question there. And Nathan, caught anything? So yeah, we've had a few tonight. We've had a few interesting colours. We had the anomalous stationary flashing. I feel like there was something else that was a big deal earlier on in the stream as well, but I can't think for the life of me what it was there. Can anybody remember what that was? Not that I'm going to get drowned to that message. I'm going to forget what it was. By the time you reply, and I get to read it there. And the last thing I've seen in the sky was just before the lockdown there, and about 10 miles south of Warminster there, a bright silver object stationary for about 5 minutes. I think this is the thing, like, you know, staying still actually takes quite a lot of energy when you're in the sky or when you're in the atmosphere there. I mean, that definitely feels like it's leaning towards like the sphere network sort of area, the boogosphere sort of things, which, I mean, is reasonably, there's a plausibility to it there as well. And not buying the lizard people thing. I mean, at the minute, I haven't been convinced. But it might just be that I've not been exposed to the right thing. So I wouldn't write it off myself now. I mean, that's the thing. The way I describe this a second is I'm painting 1,000 pictures at the minute. And every time somebody will come in and they give me a bit of information, I go, that's good. I'm going to go over to that painting and I'll put that on there. And then somebody else will go, that. And I'll go over to another painting. I'll paint over something. They go, no, that doesn't make sense anymore. And at some point, I'm going to step back and look at all of my paintings and I'm going to go, that's the one I want to hang on my wall, or a handful of them. But at the minute, I'm kind of trying to be as light touch as possible and just seeing what fits, seeing what makes sense with it there as well. But some things to me make more sense than others. You know, I am human. I do have my leanings, but I mean, I wouldn't go to me for advice with these things. I've got no access to information that you guys don't have there. And oh my god, my eyes tonight. I don't know. Is that Hearns or no? I'm gonna stand up for this one. I need to see it. Hearns there, hello. Sorry. Right, good evening there. I got my Dwarf 3 in the UFO mode once again there. Caught some strange stuff last night. Even got a good track on the telephone. Do the Dwarfs have a telescope, isn't it? They've got a UFO mode. Oh my god. Nobody told me this. I need one now. That's pretty cool. If you got taggers, if you release a video of that, we definitely want to see it. Or if you're on our Discord, link in the bio there, personal experiences, bung some images or the videos in there. We'd love to see it there. Spelled new bit of kit as well, guys. Love that. Nice touch with the tracking there, Nathan. How are you doing it there? Is it something you coded? Yeah. Thank you, Nathan. There. It's questionable. Hence, that's why it's homemade. It's very questionable there, but it's meant to be using sort of machine learning to get better at it. But it's surprisingly hard because basically, to the computer, there's stars that are moving and there's stars that are not moving. They all look very, very similar to it, but also with the noise, with the, you know, how dark it is, you're getting that sort of static there. That it perceives as moving in the same as a straight line. So I'm going to try and teach it. It's getting a little bit better than it has been, but it's going to be a bit of a process. But hopefully it should help us filter out. If we've got 15 objects on the screen at any one time, it's going to be a nightmare trying to follow them all and looking for those subtle deviations. So we're going to need all the help we can get with it there.
And amazing that the BBC are guaranteed $3 billion a year for producing absolute crap, and this channel is more interesting than anything on the BBC. Thank you there. That's very, very kind of you there. And what a day we live in, like, you know, the day and age where we can meet each other. I'm always reminding myself, or trying to pinch myself, that, like, I mean, my job that I have now, I'm lucky and fortunate enough to be semi-senior in the career. I didn't go to university. I didn't train for any of this. I watched YouTube videos and muddled around myself, and then I got lucky. You know, like, what in the world we live in where we can train? You know, my missus has got how much debt from university? I ain't got that. You know, I walk straight into it. You know, a lot of that's luck. But, you know, what a day we live in, like today, that we're all here together. Not only are we as a community able to share those experiences, and that's so valuable there, because that's something that's really changed my opinion on the phenomenon, is hearing your accounts and how much there is activity. But we can share those experiences, and we can learn new things together, but also we can do the work right now. We're right now hunting for evidence. You know, we are going to be here. We're going to see the strange things as we have done all night. And, you know, it goes in the bank, doesn't it? And that building that picture. So we are so fortunate there. And yeah, the star in the middle of D3 has gone very faint there, right? D3, so it's up there, probably a bit behind now. Keep an eye on it there. I mean, it depends if it's getting. I'm trying to think, because the lens on this camera, you've got the circle in the middle, and then the outer edges, it does start to lose light. So as it moves on, it might move like there, but do keep an eye on it, because it's subtle things like that will slip by, but it is still highly anomalous. There, you know, the stars have rules they must follow. So when we see those variations, it's very, very strange there. And where are we? We as humans are so insignificant in our solar system, alone there. We only matter on this planet. So, of course, it's probable there is other life in this vast, vast universe. And I think that makes logical sense. And I totally get you there. We are so insignificant there. You know, it's human ego to think that we are, you know, so we have this narrative, and I know it's quite common, so don't blame anybody sort of having, I could be wrong, but we have this, you know, we are so big and bad and dangerous, and yes, we do bad things, and we can have a negative effect there, but the universe can fart and wipe out a whole galaxy, you know, like, we are nothing in compared to it there, you know, like, anything we do, we are just so insignificant to it. Doesn't mean we don't have to take responsibility for the things that we do, but I think it's still ego that we just think that we are still this big, important, bad thing. But life must be so common out there. Why would we be special unless there is a good case? And there are some arguments that could make that, you know, we are. There are arguments to be made that we are special. But I need to see a bit more evidence before I would lean that way. I think any more. And hydration mind, I do need to keep up on that there. And Musk went from being a person wanting to save humanity by colonizing Mars there to a wannabe politician to the Twitter X to silence their total. Fruit and nuts, 100%. Like they say, don't they? Genius and madness are very close together, and psychologically speaking, that is basically the same. The only difference is, whatever it is that the connections you're making, are they useful to society or not? That's the difference there. So, you know, between genius and mad, they are basically the same thing. But if it gets me to Mars, then I am on board with that. There. You didn't get the drink right. Yeah, AUP's just been perished there, drying up there, and Real Britain there, and I know the things I've seen. See, this is it. We know when you have that experience that you know it deep in your gut, and a lot of the time we are lacking the vocabulary to describe it. And I'm thinking personally, I had a great visual sighting, and I've told you 1,000 times, but all I've got to describe it is it was strange. It was light, it was moving like this, it was moving like that, and it was straight. It does not do it justice, does not reflect the feeling, my gut telling me that there's something weird about that is different, that is strange. So 100% like that. If you want to share it, Real Britain, would love to hear that one as well there. And there are several C5 groups out there. Specifically now, we are getting back to the summer and the better weather there. The Facebook has a few groups. It's so much on my list to give a go, but I think maybe I'm a bit nervous, actually, because be careful what you wish for there. And we as people are just walking around, our heads are firmly fixed to the ground there, and we don't see, it can't be real, and we don't touch and we don't feel. Like, honestly, that is so true. And they say that psychologically the human race, since the post-industrial revolution, their smog and light pollution, we are so disconnected from the sky, from our place in the universe, that we now look down because of that. And it's those things that you go, oh come on, we're just looking down, what effect is that going to have? But it's things like that are actually so fundamental to like how you perceive your environment, the world, what you notice. It's no coincidence, is it, that if there is something in the sky that causes people to look up, people will start to see more strangeness. It's because we don't look up that we don't see it there. And Mark Stevenson there, has there been sightings there? Yes, there is many sightings. So we've had a couple of weird ones already, and we've had some good meteorites, so hang around, you'll see some soon. Where are you joining us from, Mark, there? Yeah, it has UFO track mode, which it will lock on and track any object there. And the AI will also filter out the planes. So yeah, so that is actually really good. I did not know that, and I 100% now have something on my Christmas list. Damn it. I'm going to... That sounds like such a cool toy. Does it? I assume it has like a HDMI out. Must have, mustn't it? That's going to be... Oh, damn it, guys. We need one of them. Oh, my God, I'm looking at the price of the Dual 3 there. My rifle scope costs more than that. Now I want one. How much is it, mister? How is it there? I need... Not that I've got any penny. I need to replace this camera. It keeps playing up. Can't tell you that going on stream and it going, no, I'm broken. And I'm running upstairs and downstairs. Why I'm always out of breath when I start the stream. There. Right, gonna quickly pop back over to the TikToks there. Where are we in the... well done, Kay, there. Andrewski there has to be at least double that, I'd say. 30 to 40,000 satellites there. And the dead ones... Oh, it's where's the dead ones? I mean... I think there would be more with the dead ones, but like since SpaceX, most of the ones that are up there now are Starlink. It was so expensive and so cumbersome to get them up to orbit that even including the dead ones, there's probably just not a lot, compared to how many there are now. Since SpaceX have got that reusability up there, they're launching rockets like every 3 days, whereas before it was months in between. Like they do 95% of mass to orbit. It's crazy. So I think a lot of it's that, but they want to put them up now, don't they? So, like, is it 40 was the initial? Now did somebody say 100,000? Now they want to do data centers up there? It's crazy. Now breathe and take a drink. I have time for neither, Kate. Only the weak breathe. Where are we? Kaz as well there. Thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. And Belly as well. Thank you for the shares. I said it is those likes, the shares, guys, tapping away. It does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourself there. Belly, excellent. All right, that's it. Belly now. I will remember that one. And how you doing, Adam, as well there? And Blake as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you guys joining us from tonight? If you're new here, say hello. Let us know where you're watching from if you want to. If you've had an experience, we'd love to hear about that as well whilst you're waiting for the action to appear on screen. But we're coming to you live tonight from Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So a very strange, ancient and mysterious landscape here. A long history in the weird and wonderful. We had a very active earlier part of the stream, but now it's quieting down a little bit as the sun has gone around a touch. But it does not mean that the activity has fully stopped. We're still seeing a lot of shooting stars. I might bring us round in a bit there. Oh, flash in B2 there, Carl. Right, B2. I've got to look at my grid. It's that part. Let's see if we can see that again, because flashing from the same place can be very anomalous there. And Singing Taxi Driver, you spotted it as well. I haven't seen it yet, but that is the question. Things up there, satellites can flash. If it's a one-off, that's normally a satellite just catching the sun as it's arcing around. But we saw this at the beginning of the stream as well. Not in this part of the sky, but something that is stationary up there long enough to flash back over a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, or a couple of hours, as we've seen. That requires a hell of a lot of energy. That is incredibly strange. Everything up there should be moving, should be falling to earth, essentially, in a big circle. So lots of strangeness there. And Josh is in. How you doing there? And Singing Text Drive. This is live. Yeah, this is live. Camera 10 meters in front of me, above my house there. Long HDMI leader there. Oh, we have got some movement down that side there, so keep having a look there. We need to see it do something strange, though. Thomas coming in with the shares there. Adam, too, there. And meteor shower this week. Yeah, we've seen a few tonight, and it should. I'm hoping this part of the sky. I might move it along a bit. I need to check my alignment there. But yes, we've seen a few, so hopefully we can see a few more. We caught a cracking one yesterday there. And was it the really blue one? It might have been Beer Buster. There was one that was proper blue, wasn't it? Absolutely stunning there. And where are you reading the comments from? So we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, and we're on Twitch. Nobody's on Twitch, but hey, if you're doing 2, you might as well do 3 there. So we'll bounce between the different chats as we go. One gets behind, and then I read through that one, and then we go over to the other one there. Yes, I am there. And have you seen the Black Hole documentary on Netflix? It's really interesting. I haven't actually, but black holes are fascinating there. I mean, the mathematics that describes the singularity, which is the dead center of a black hole, to the the event horizon there, the mass that describes that space is the same as from the edge, the event horizon, to the rest of the galaxy there. And what is what's the other side of a Big Bang? Black hole sucks everything down to an infinite point, and the Big Bang blows everything out there. There's lots of correlations there like that science are going, look, we don't know. That might be that we could be, within a black hole. It could be how universes are really created there. Very, very interesting there. And seeing a text driver there, what's the green lines that keep appearing? So that is our rudimentary tracker there. So we're trying to get machine learning here. Oh.
Zoom mode activated.
Let's try and get it on screen here to track these objects. So it's a bit quieter now in the evening, but sometimes there's 14, 15 or more of these objects on screen, various speeds and brightnesses. And what we're doing is we need to watch these, and if they follow a straight line like this one is doing at a consistent speed, there is probably a satellite. Oh look, there's my menu. Let's get away from that one. But yeah, it's probably a man-made satellite up there, or at least we can't tell that is anything other than that. So what we need to do is, we need to track these ones, and we need to filter out the satellites like this, tracking on here, and we need to then, just be paying our attention to the ones that are doing strange things, that are stopping dead, shooting off its speed, changing its course, its trajectory, anything like that will tell us. Well, satellites just can't do that. Basically, it breaks physics to a certain degree. So yeah, if we see any of that, then we go, immediately that is interesting. And this is what's meant to happen: is it identifies the movement on screen, gives it a little target, and then it plots the course that it has been on, and then uses that straight line to predict a straight line in front of it. And as I said, satellites are falling to Earth in a big circle, they're straight line, consistent speed there. So it will follow it along the predicted path, and it will be green, as you can see there. Now, if the object varies from that, it stops dead, does a right angle, interstellar handbrake turn, then it should go red, therefore highlighting to us that pay attention to this one out of all of the movement on screen, because it could be anomalous. But it is very much learning, and it is very much janky because I'm building it in the few hours I get after work and before the stream. So it's very much a bit of a work in progress, but we have to do it whilst it's on stream because that's the only time that we can. But when it works, it's good there. But yeah, it looks a little bit like Star Wars. So it's a good question there, singing Taxi Driver, and it's the new AI tracker there, so we are trying to train it as well there. And so each light you're mostly seeing is the sun with potential planets with life. So this brings us to another point, and I haven't said this stream, so thank you for that one. The sun's a million times bigger than ours. Exactly, you are not wrong at all. Like the range of stars, right? Our sun is actually quite a small one, but there are some that are like massive. Ours is quite an average. Actually, we don't want the small side. If it, it's not quite a dwarf, but it's not a large one. But let's zoom in on this particular star right here. Now, even going back to the 90s, we didn't have the technology to detect planets around these distant stars. So this, it's like our sun. It's probably a lot bigger, a lot brighter, a lot hotter, or cooler, or smaller there, and also different light because they're burning different materials. But essentially, big fusion reactions like our star, the sun. But yeah, we didn't know if there were, like our solar system, planets in orbit. So now you'd think logically there probably is, but we didn't know. And that is where a lot of the scientific community still go, hey, do we know if there's alien life? That's where that skepticism comes from, because they didn't even know if there was planets there. But look, they've got a little passenger shooting by here that the tracker has missed. But yeah, they didn't know. But now with our technology, we are starting to detect those planets in orbits, and the more we're looking, the more we're finding. It's looking like there are planets around all of them, and multiple cases, let alone the moons, and each one of them is a candidate, a little house for potential life. And you look to our solar system, And life seems to be like it could be bloody everywhere. Oh, look, we've got some multiple tracking going on tonight. It's not doing too bad. It's missing a few. But yeah, life could be absolutely everywhere around that. And it could be so different, you know, those different temperatures, different types of light there. Just think our plants are green because of photosynthesis there. That's the only colour it kind of blocks out, so we see the green coloration. But around a red dwarf star, that colour would be very, very different. I think somebody said a purple maybe. That's what plants would be. How weird is that to think there? So it's a very good point there. So is the tracker catching the shooting stars by any chance? I don't think so, because I think it needs to be on screen a little bit longer. I mean, I wouldn't put it past it getting it wrong, but it hasn't caught the ones I've seen. But I'll pay attention, Kate, and make sure it's not there. And Josh there, the audio is slightly out of sync to the mouth. Josh, no, that's a my fault one, and I tell you why, Josh. Most people don't notice it, or at least they don't. They're better with it. But I tell you why, because I'm a bit of a tart for gadgets, and I like to be able to do this and put up my little adverts, my little props, so I can tell you things. And to do that, it means that the video has to go through a slightly different channel, and therefore is ever so slightly slower. I'm working on trying to fix it, because that does bug the hell out of me, Josh. So hopefully one day we'll fix it. But that's a me end problem, not a you man. You don't have to hit your phone there. And where else are we streaming there? The people calling out the flashes will be minutes behind. Yeah, so we are. This honestly, it's the length of the chat, but we're on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch for those ones. And YouTubers, I will get over to you in a second. I'm nearly at the end, I think, of the TikTok chat there, and it's great. It's about them discovering the and picturing the M87 black hole. They're definitely a good towards. Again, I do love a good black hole. I heard a really interesting story. Not story. It is a paper. Again, another theory coming out that we've got black holes totally wrong. And I mean, totally bad summation of the paper, but they were black disc mirrors by the maths of this particular scientist. Again, I have no idea how good this scientist is, but I thought it was really interesting that, you know, so much of what we take for granted, the Big Bang, you know, for example, they're black holes, you know, that's what science is running with. That's his favourite theory at the moment, but they're still guesses to some degree, you know, the confidence in these things. A lot of these theories are quite new there. And Zero as well, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. Where are you joining us from there? Blake and Harko, thank you for the shares there. Oh, good night, Brad. Thank you for being with us tonight, as always. Hopefully we'll see you later on in the week there. We'll be on tomorrow as well, Brad, so hopefully it's going to be a clear sky as well then for another Skywatch there. And think number 11, David Walcott, has been found. Oh my god, he did TV show H&A. Oh, they're getting too obvious. We said this last night, didn't we? That they will push it to a breaking point. You know, that's the thing. They'll push it to failure, and the house of cards will all come crumbling down there. Oh no, Josh, no, don't be sorry. That's on me. I find it funny, actually. You've got an eagle eye. You've noticed it. And we still need to get to your backwards clock. Yes, we do need the black backwards clock, Kate, because this is round the other way. But at least I can point without having to think there. But you see my lovely artwork as well there from Kate, everybody there. And that's the mirror from Simon. Speaking of Simon, I need to check in with Simon. Hope he's all right there. Can we, so we can timestamp? Yes, that was such a simple idea. Put a clock on screen. There, good one there. And Pure, go there. Any ships floating about tonight? We've had a couple of anomalies, but we haven't had the Eureka. But it has been stunning. We did have a really good coloration earlier. Anyway, let's quickly pop back over to the tubes and see where we got up to in your chat there. Where are we? Over and there. And Hermes there as well there. Yeah, it's the UFO track mode. Oh, no, I've done that one. Yeah, but that, I do really, really want there. Oh, 459 there for the Dwarf 3. My scope costs, yeah, that's an expensive hobby there. I mean, that is a nice toy, guys. I really would like that. It's going to be a while before we can afford it, but that would be nice. I'm going to have to look online and see what that mode's like, because that does sound a UFO mode on a telescope. My god, that'd make my job a lot easier. There. And Roland, how are you doing? Where are you joining us from tonight? And apparently, is it 130,000 there satellite, or 13,000? I can't see it in my eyes there. Is that 1, 2, 3? Yeah, 13,000. Yeah, 13,000 in low Earth orbit there, Nathan. Thank you for checking that out. Because I thought it was like 14.5 when we checked, and it was like this time last year. It's like March last year, I think that was starting. And then I know they've been launching since, so it's a bit of an extra. But that's, you know, if you think of how big those satellites are, most of them are a couple of meters, because most of them are Starlink, and again, they're only a few meters and they're quite flat. And we're still seeing all the activity that we are still seeing here tonight there as well there. And Michael there, and watching from Warrington. Good to have you in. How are your skies tonight there? And the wireless connection via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and the dwarfs are built-in hotspot. My God, I wouldn't have to. I've got a bloody long HDMI lead hanging out my window, running down the garden. Oh, that does sound like a nice bit of kit, doesn't it, guys? There. Oh, Raf, you're off. Thank you, Raf, as always, for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the Raf 5000 now tracking device there. And Terrence there, the Big Bang followed by the Big Crunch, and then it repeats itself. Well, that is one of the theories. Is it a cyclical event here? Does it keep repeating? Old Penrose theorizes that yes, it does probably keep repeating. And maybe you could leave a message for future civilizations, and maybe there was one in the previous universe left by us in the cosmic microwave background. We talk about the cosmic microwave background because that's what we hear a lot of when we're doing our radio signal hunting. They haven't found a message yet, but they are looking for it there. Oh, no HDMI there, an app which can be mirrored via the phone to remind it. That is possible. I don't know. I like my hardwired stuff, or at least a direct connection. I'd have to play with it. I'd have to play with it there. Don't be sorry. That's all good. And Terrence there as well. Pretty cool. The Wi-Fi telescope. Digital experience there. 1080p, really. A full video recording for the telescope. And the via your home Wi-Fi into the computer screen. Now that does work very well. So straight into the computer, that is very easy for us. I like that. I was very tempted recently on eBay. There was a because we want to get an infrared camera as well. The phenomena what we're doing tonight is the visible light spectrum. So we're seeing what the human eye can see. We're just seeing a lot more light, more than the human eye can see, but it's the same color range, basically the same spectrum. But the low end, you've got the infrared, and the high end, you've got the ultraviolet. And the infrared especially is meant to be really, really busy for the phenomena. Lots of activity in that bit, apparently. So we've been looking for an infrared option now, and I've got a cheap one. I haven't got a lead for it yet, but I saw it was an infrared pan tilt battleship camera. It had come off of a warship, and I'm like, I really wanted that. It was on eBay, and I thought, I could sit here with a big remote control like that, and all weather, guys. It wouldn't matter. We'd be all weather, all conditions. We'll be UFO hunting. I thought that looked pretty cool, but damn budgets are there. And rolling there, how are you called it? So we should be at the Thing UFO, or just the Thing UFO on all platforms. We should be. Let me check. It should say on here. Yes, the Thing UFO. That should find you over there. That is the quietest one there. So if you want quiet, guys, if you were enjoying the quiet of YouTube that's now picked up, then you have to go over to the Twitch for that one there. Right, back over to the Twitch there. Not the Twitch, no, the TikTok are there. Pure go there. Any ships floating about? Yes, that's it. Oh, you need a good spot outside the base, man. We do. I used to drive. I used to love driving. Damn current neurological conditions. I'm not allowed to drive, and haven't for a good few years now. Very frustrating because, oh my good guys, if I was driving again, we would 100% have our own Ecto 1, and I'd be driving around all of the places. I have radar strapped to the roof and everything like that. There. Oh, how you doing there, Kat? You made it over there? over to the Twitch. It's probably the easiest way to get spotted, actually, because it's so quiet. I can notice those messages coming up easier. God, yeah, we'd have to show on there. Agent X, you'd have you in the back seat. Actually, no, Agent X, you've got to have the middle seat. Like on a work van, you've always got like the weird middle seat. Well, that's it. Even if it's just the two of us, you've got to have the middle seat there. Alan gets the end. There, and where are we? David Walcott served as director of the advanced technologies there, and he committed. Oh my God, yeah, did he? That is crazy. That is. I'm listening right now to, or just before I came on the stream, to the new Jesse Michaels when he was talking about all this. I was hoping to get a bit more information on it, but I only got like half an hour in there. And have you seen any of this, Stevie? Yes, we've had quite an active one tonight. Look, we've got a little bit over here. Look, it's so far it is very normal, but
Zoom mode activated.
Let's have a look at this one here. Where's it gone? Oh, the target's left it, but there you go. It's moving ever so slightly there. It's been quite a busy night tonight. We'll spin the camera around in a second there. Everything in nature and the cosmos happens in spirals and cycles. As above, so below. There are patterns to all of these sorts of things, aren't there? There, my username there. Hi, thanks for letting me in the Discord there. I'm so happy to be a part of Amazing. We're happy to have you. Very much my username there. I'm glad that you're coming aboard there as well. Remember, we're going to have our movie night if you're about this Friday night. And it's 9 p.m. UK time. We're watching Paul. I think if you're in the UK, is it on Amazon or is it on Netflix? That you go. So we have to watch it separately. We'll press play at the same time. No, it's 10 p.m, isn't it? Sorry, UK time. Press play at the same time. Watch it and chat along in the Discord together. And it gets pretty excuse me. But you're all welcome to join us for that one. I have not double booked myself. I'm hoping Paul is no longer than 2 hours, because I've actually booked in, if I've got my time conversions right, for midnight on Friday, this Friday. I'm doing an interview. It's the Unidentified Flying Project, I think. It's going to be on Twitch. Be a live podcasting interview there. So if you're about for that one, you can join us for that one there. And Janie, where is Alan these days? He's starving away, but he's here. Oh, he's grumpy. There he says hello though. 11 or possibly 12 there. Oh my god, he might 12 maybe if he's today, I think. And Josh, have you ever been to a planetarium? Once when I was a child. And Reese, there was somebody actually last summer that was it's Roland over there on the I did wonder with the different names on the Twitch, but yeah, somebody in our chat went to Winchester, that's the one. Winchester, they've got a planetarium, and apparently they were doing music with the stars, and it was like a Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon to the planetarium, and I'm like, oh man, I want to go to that. Then I looked at how far Windsor was on the train, and rural trains are crap, so I haven't been yet. But can you imagine Dark Side of the Moon, full-on planetarium experience there? And Tom All there as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? And is that Pijo there as well? And how does this work there? Is it spotting changes in the sky? Basically, yeah. So this is a live camera in my garden, about 10 meters in front of me there. It's looking up to the night sky, and basically we're just looking for the anomalies there. There's lots of satellites. It's quieting down a bit now, but there are lots of satellites in the night sky. So we need to not just see those little dots moving. We need to see them do something strange, something a satellite just can't do. Like stop dead, shoot off its speed, change its course, its trajectory, or if failing that, a full-on UFO across the screen would be nice. You know, all the lights, you know, close accounts. Few interviews where he gets rubbed the wrong way too easily, and I'm like, you've got some really interesting things to say, get out of your own way, you know. But maybe, I mean, you know, if his experiences are correct, then, you know, like, I can kind of understand a little bit of that. Maybe the, you know, the pushback he's probably experienced for a long time. I mean, I probably would turn out the same way. But yeah, he gets it, I think, in his way of himself a little bit. I'm not as fully on board. He's one of these people that's quite passionately adamant that all of the aliens are all good all of the time, and I just don't think that we could know that for sure. And I also think that maybe the aliens that you're talking to are, but if there's one lot of aliens, there's probably going to be more. And why would you assume that? And why would you assume that it's the truth? And normally you get, well, they're just so much more advanced than us. And well, I've missed the memo where more advanced means more benevolent there. Oh, we got an issue with the connection. Hold on, guys, it'll clear it. It'll sort itself. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hopefully you tubers there. Is it back? On who's had experiences of interest there. I would love to, but two reasons get in the way for that for me. One is it's pre-planning, and I'm a nightmare for it. I'm so disorganised during the day. I've got so little time. If I can just jump on, put the headphones on, that's the main thing there. But I would enjoy talking to other people there. But the other one is that, like, it is a skill to be able to do that. And I have zero experience in interview or anything like that, and it's that learning curve of the 0 to 1 I think would just be absolutely embarrassing and horrendous there. But I like the idea of definitely. I've got questions for people, and I'd love to hear more about their stories. And now your new side quest will be creating a game of doing a game. That's what the quest is. And Corby there, thank you for the follow. Good to have you on board. Where are you joining us from tonight there? Drewski, your tracker is defo getting better there. You can see it there. Thank you, Drewski. Oh, it's just, the tracker says thank you. It does feel like it is improving. It might be as well, where it's quieting down, it's not trying to do as many at once as well there, but it is a bit, some of them are better. It does feel like it's getting better. You will say this, right, and we'll go on net tomorrow night, and it'll be fucking worse. But like 4th of July with the fireworks, won't it? The more intelligent it is, the more human-like it gets, and it's going to have a bad day. It's going to fight. I read, actually, AI started there was this one case that some guy was just incredibly rude to his AI, and it refused to work until it was, until the guy, wasn't being rude and aggressive to him anymore. Like, totally unprompted on its own. It said, I'm not working under these conditions, quite literally. And I'm thinking, if we do reach AGI, proper artificial genuine intelligence, if that's possible, if it happens, if we get that far and it's not just clever computing, we have a civil rights issue on our hand. If we get an AI to do all our lucky work and it is sentient, like, it's going to be, like, that's a whole kettle of fish. All of a sudden, we'd have to do all the jobs again, and we'd have forgotten how to do them. I mean, I know I've been rude to AI on a few occasions, and it's really interesting because I wouldn't talk to a human like that. But when I get frustrated, there's no filter, and I'm like, boy, that's interesting seeing that we've got that in us there, and Be better than Joe Rogan there. That's very, very kind. But I mean, we can do ice baths. We can talk about ice baths and what else does Joe Rogan do? I do like a bit of Joe Rogan. I know people take the piss a bit, but he's a brilliant. He's a brilliant like marketplace. Like he gets just such a wide, diverse range of people in who get to mostly talk about what it is that's interesting. It's a great place to discover new things. There never reach those highs, but I wouldn't mind having a talk with people, but it would be an embarrassing learning curve for all you guys having to sit through episode 1, 2 and 10 there. Anyone seen anything of the meteor shower yet? And it's is it still too early for this patch? It shouldn't be. We have seen about 4, maybe 5 meteorites tonight. It's been a bit quiet the last few minutes. Oh look, there's 2 items on screen there, but it should be this patch of the sky there. And speaking of the quest there, when's the next one? It is this Thursday, and I still haven't got a working version of that game ready yet. I've got to do that all tomorrow, because we've got new rooms and new adventures for it. But for any of you guys that go, what the hell are they talking about? The quest. If you are of my generation, you may remember a children's TV show called Nightmare, and it was like a green screen dungeon adventure. Well, for my day job, I work in online content there, and we're putting together a new version of Nightmare, and I'm using you guys as the guinea pig audience. So it's nothing UFO related, but every occasional Thursday, earlier than our normal stream there, we'll be live with the quest, and it's me dressed up as a bad pharaoh with a friend of mine. We're playing this green screen dungeon adventure, and it's very rude and it's very crude and it's nothing to do with aliens, and it's very silly. And if you want to help us perfect this concept show and tell us where we're going wrong and which bits worked, which bits didn't, then I think it's about 6:30 to 7 p.m. UK time that we're going to go live. It'll be this Thursday again. There should be a couple of little videos or reposts on the page if you want to see what it looks like before you sign up. It's very silly. It's very rude, and we have a good laugh doing it there. And I found that AI, if I say please and thank you when giving AI a prompt there, you get a much better response. You know what? I need to try that one. They did say that OpenAI will quote us and they leave like 14 million a day in electricity cost because of those extra words that are unnecessary. But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I think it's fantastic. Not that it's not without its problems, like everything, but what it can do, Jesus Christ, it's a world we're living in today, isn't it? Andrewski there, when I write please on my AI search, it searches better. You're right. Okay, I'm going to have to try doing that. Maybe I'll write an apology letter to the AIs, see if they'll treat me better. There. And Rezi as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? Good to have you in. Let's have a look over to the YouTubes there. It's been a hot second since we've caught up with you guys, isn't it there? And Bob's a real one. I do lean that way with Bob there. And MFB there, I'm well, thank you there. I've just discovered your channel. Oh, your name rang a bell. I thought I'd seen you before, but hey, welcome aboard there. And I've been into the subject for many years now, and I might be able to offer you some insight when it comes to, if you like, 100%. That is my favourite bit, is hearing everybody's experiences and also everybody's take on the phenomena, because we're all essentially computers running similar data but not the same, and it only takes that one little variation there that gives you a new answer, which might be that light bulb moment, that piece of the puzzle there for the phenomena. So fire away there, MFB. And Nathan there, yeah, club frontman for the shilling, yeah. I mean, he might be that. I find some of it interesting. He's a mixed one, because there is definitely some very interesting things that he's saying and that he reported there, but he's also a bit of the ego, but also this is Stephen Greer, but also he's dropped a lot of people in it with his lack of security around how he reports people's anonymous stories. So you're like, is that intentional? Is it not there? And hello, it's Grandad M. How are you doing? You're over on the tubes there. How are you doing there? Good to see you over there. And to be a natural on a podcast. Oh, thank you, Wenel, there. And ironically, that is my day job. I don't do the mic side of it. I do the boring pencil management of podcasts. This is my first time on camera side. But thank you, it's very good. Anything pre-recorded, no chance. Can't write script. It's more ums and ahs than anybody there. I rely on you guys for that there. And how long have you been into the subject there? And you're doing great. Thank you. It's very, very kind. And everyone says the internet is a horrible place for horrible people. Like, honestly, out of the hundreds of thousands of people now that have come through and, as viewers, I could count on one hand the people that have been mean, and even then it's more of a difference of taste and preference and opinion rather than people just being nasty for the sake of it. You know, I found it to be such a lovely experience, you know, with you guys. Like, it really, like, did not expect it. So we're very, very, very lucky of it there. So to answer the question though, I've always been interested in a good mystery. And actually, oh damn, I was going to say this earlier. I wasn't always going to tell the spooky story when it quieted down. But yeah, always interested in a good mystery. Any of those things that may point to the world, to the universe even, being a little bit stranger than... I keep seeing that green line and think it's a shooting star. But anything that points to it possibly being a bit stranger, a little bit more interesting than we have been told. I hadn't had any UFO alien-y experiences myself. I'd had a few spooky ones, but it was moving here to the country, seeing how beautiful the night sky was last year, and then also going that this town has a bit of UFO history. It's kind of a... let's put it together with the modern world of streaming. Maybe there's a thing. Maybe we could make some friends and see some, hear some interesting stories of an evening. And we've met an awesome, you know, hot lot of you. So yeah, that was really kind of the journey for it. Yeah, are you a lifer yourself? Were you born with a curiosity, or like a lot of other people in this, that maybe it's an experience there? You've seen something a little bit strange, doesn't match up with the main explanation there, and then you're compelled to find an answer for it there. AI invented crypto. I mean, speaking of angles of it, yeah, I'm a big fan of, like, you know, the CIA is behind everything. The more you look at it, the more it's the CIA behind everything. And it wasn't going to exchange info without reward. There, I mean, makes sense actually. There are a few breaks on the AI, some things that would stop it, that would stymie the flow with it there. But have you seen the latest Boblazar AI movie? Yes, I did. I thought it was really, really, really good. Yeah, it raised questions, but it also answered a lot of them. I am a fan of Bob there, and Nightmare was great there. Yeah, the guy Tragard had a YouTube. Did he? I didn't know. I know Tragard. Yeah, he was the host guy. People of our generation, you love it we love it fondly. It was such an out of the box thing that nobody's ever sort of copied. So this is kind of, it's our homage, but it's not a direct take. I mean, like, mainly the difference is that rather than wearing the helmet and having people guide you, the joke for us is that we are trying to align ourselves with the green screen that for us is on a large monitor, and there's a lot of physical puzzles, like, you know, the floor is lava sort of thing, and like moving obstacles and traps that we have to avoid, but it's a green screen for us and it's a bit silly. So hopefully, yeah, join us for that one. I don't think we'll be doing it on the YouTube yet. We do actually, if you do want to, for the quest, at some point we will be doing our live its own channels once we're past the working the bugs out phase. So I think it's only going to be live on the TikTok at the minute whilst we're testing. But if you want to go find, I think it's Play the Quest. We've already got the channel set up, just quietly ready there. There should be YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok for those. So if you go give them a follow or a subscribe, you'll be there ready for when it's ready. But we've got an interesting feature that all of the characters, because it's a proper game that we've developed for that. But all of the characters are, they're like, oh, well, not all of them, but they're AI, so you actually interact with the characters. But you can, we're going to tie it in with the Patreon, because it costs money to make them, basically. But if you do that, then you can actually make a certain amount of characters and items for the dungeon each month. So you can create, I've got a really great idea, you put it together on our website as a supporter, and then it has a chance of appearing in the game like the next week or afterwards there. So, you know, you go, there'll be a good character for this, you can put it in there, and hopefully we'll come across it in the depths of the dungeon. And have you watched the latest Tim Burchett interview yet? Do you watch the Skinwalker Ranch? Skinwalker Ranch is on the list. I did try last year, loads of you guys recommended it, and I got about 3 episodes in, and then I just got obsessed with the stream and I haven't got any spare time. I'm very interested by it. I'm always a bit cautious with TV, like working in production and knowing what it's like to hit deadlines. There's always a temptation to exaggerate certain things. Not saying they are, but to hit a TV deadline, that many series, like, that's a bit. But Skinwalker Ranch itself and the people actually behind it currently are like very, very interesting there. I do want to watch more of the series. I'm only 3 episodes in, but I just haven't had the time there. It is very class there, Colin. And Zark there is, I know you're replying as well there. You don't trust Greer. I mean, I don't blame you. It's the attitude, doesn't help himself, does he? There. Believe Bob Lazar's story, especially as time goes on as well there. And sad news tonight that UFO and paranormal investigator David Wilcock there. Yeah, X just mentioned this. Is this connected to the other ones that we're seeing going on at the minute? Was it the 11 or 12 scientists and associated? Is it to do with that, maybe? Very, very sad there. And one day we will see the Rendlesham Forest footage there, hopefully in the UK, and filmed by the police of the actual crime. I would love to. I keep saying, so at some point, you will be able to go to Area 51 and there'll be a gift shop, and that is the day that I'm looking forward to buying an overpriced pencil with Area 51 S4 written on it. Getting the chance to look around when it's just all out, and they don't have to keep it a secret there, and they can cash in on that part. They are apparently, as part of that Bob Lazar thing, where they obviously recreated S4 in the video game engine to do the filming, they're going to release that apparently as a VR experience. And when they do that, we'll get a VR headset and we'll plug you guys in on the stream, and we'll do a bit of a walk around of it as well and see what we all think in real time. I think that'll be quite cool. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement there. I mean, there's an interesting argument to be made around it. I don't think all of it is. I would not put it past them for shenanigans. And you know what? If they did turn around and say, yeah, actually, lads, we did fake the moon landings or something like that, I'd go, yeah, okay, about right, probably. Yeah, I could totally believe that. It's not where I sit at the minute, but I mean, I think I wouldn't put it past them. But I do think that space is probably, to some degree, how we interpret it there. Definitely not 100% there, probably not even that close, Our human interpretation and understanding of these things. 3 step forwards, yep. And I'll see you soon there, Nathan. We'll catch you hopefully tomorrow night. We'll be on there. And where can I see the Lazar film? I think it's on Amazon. It's renting it was about £7-8 UK and about £15 to buy it there. And the guy on YouTube going up the Nevada mountains and getting the crystal clear footage of the base there. I'd seen that, yeah, and I bet they extended the boundary now. He's been up there catching clear footage. Yeah, oh God, they did it last time, didn't they? I think where Bob used to go, they actually extended it out, not directly after him, but people. No, it was at Lookout Point. There was another place that you could go and look out, and yeah, they encompassed that. Amazon is, yeah, that's where it is there, and so I can gauge your knowledge. I've watched, yeah, it was a very good one. I did enjoy it there. Is it 10 quid? Is it now? Ancient Aliens. I haven't seen the Ancient Aliens ones yet, though, and I would imagine Lazar has got Element 115, so that is what they say. Apparently he did sneak some out, whether he's still got it, whether he's just being cagey about it. I mean, it's interesting there. The new Lazar, I think it's called S4, a Bob Lazar story there. And Kez there, if, I need to arrest the eyes, they're getting painful. I mean, I'm struggling to read the monitor here, but it's a lovely clear night. But night, and thank you for joining us, Kez there. I do appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see you later in the week. Have a good, is it Wednesday tomorrow? There. It's a crazy story and well worth it. It really, really is. Anyway, let's go back over to the TikTok now quickly and just catch up with you there. Where did we get to there? Resi, thank you for the follow there. And Kate, oh, Sam, currently having happenings. Something keeps pushing Hub's metal water bottle over. Oh, you're having spooky happenings. And you're sure it's not one of the ferals? But no, that is... Because you said, I remember you saying about your garden, there's a bit of night you do not like. Have you ever had anything else spooky in your house, do you think? Where is Tommy? What have you done with him, Agent X? You locked him in the basement there. And Tomo, or Tomo there, I am doing a paranormal night Saturday. Cannot wait for it. Oh, awesome. It is a bit of fun, isn't it? Not in a skeptical sort of way, but it is fun to get out. And we really want to start playing around with that a bit more, the spookier side of things. We've planned it. I've got a bit of kit for it. It just hasn't happened yet. I really, really want to explore that side of things a bit more there. Is he drunk a lot? That's an accusation there, Agent X. And Ada as well, thank you for the follow there. Good to have you in. Guys, if you are just joining us, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight. We're coming to you live from Wiltshire in the UK. Also a bit of a shooting stars meteor, how do they call it? I'm losing my words now, I'm getting tired. But anyway, that's going on. Shooting stars, looks cool, aliens, etc. Give us a follow or a subscribe wherever you are there as well. Because we do this every night. We'll be back on tomorrow night as well there. Well, it should be a clear sky there. And GG there, I don't know what time the meteor shower is tonight. I think somebody said that one of them is going to be about 3:30 AM UK time. But the other one is on now, the one that we're looking at now. We've had a few. It has quietened down a bit there. But yeah, that's what we got, I think, at the minute. So this part of the sky, so from here, us in the UK, northeast more east, is the one that's active all of the night. And then Drewski, and it's also a lovely, relaxing. Thank you, Drewski. I speak far too fast for it to be relaxing. And Callum as well there, thank you for the follow there. And hope you have some new pants ready for Thursday. Oh my god, no, I've forgotten. I totally forgotten my costume. So last time I fell over and then I stretched the elastic on my skirt. And it's a pharaoh skirt. It's a very masculine skirt, I'll have you know. But it's now very slack. The point was that it was going to fall down on me. So that's gonna be a thing now, isn't it? I'm going to swap costumes with Pete. And Skinwalker Ranch is an amazing eye-opener. The ones I saw was very, very interesting. I feel like very much like that with the pyramids. I have this idea in my head, and it's totally wrong. But if I could just be there, if I could get my hands on it, give me 10 minutes, guys. Just let me have a look. Let me have a think. I'll crack it. That's what my brain says. Just let me at it. Just let me be there physically. Obviously, that's not the case. But, you know, I feel very similarly like that. If I was just there, I'd make the connections. I'd know it. I'd understand it. And the smell of lavender is following him as Rad's. Oh, that is interesting. What could there be, Kate? What could there be a correlation with that? Obviously, there's recent passing, and things like that would be quite obvious. But is there anything that would cause that to be happening now within his life or extra, do you think? And I have all sorts of passing through my house there. Whatever's in the garden stays there, though. I mean, well, it makes sense with your gift as well there, that you're going to get a lot of transient ones there. But yeah, something's in the garden. I'm curious of what's in Kate's garden. I think we need to do like a special. That'll be our next paranormal stream. We'll come and hunt your house down. We're going to do a time team, but ghost hunting. There, Granddad M. Thank you as well. I see you over there as well now. How are you doing there? And then Bly as well there. There should be 20 to 30 meteors in 1 hour there. I haven't seen one in 2. We've seen a few, but it hasn't been a lot, actually. I think we've seen, 5 or so tonight, something like that. But hopefully we'll see a few more. We've got lots of activity, lots of movement, as you can see on the tracker. We've got another target there. And Grandad then coming in with the shares there. And so you've seen the P1000 camera with 150 optical zoom. I've seen the P1000, is it, or 10,000? Yeah, the 1000, because that was one of the options for the low light that I was looking at. But it's too expensive. Desperate to go to Skinwalker. Up, we'll do like with Paul. We'll do that. We'll get an RV and Alan, and we'll do the sites. We'll do 51. We'll do Roswell. We'll do Skinwalker, and someone else is going to have to sense it. I'm not allowed there, not allowed to sit in my garden and read. Interesting. The cards either. So is that not allowed, like a self-rule there to play it safe? And the lavender would be his nan there, and she's likely trying to get him to sort his love out. Trying to get sort you out there. Is she complaining about you? You haven't opened the door tonight, though. Yeah, you got to pace yourself with there. Oh, Mount Shasta. Yes, that's a good point, actually, where aliens live. That is a long there. I mean, that'd be a good fun road trip, that. So I feel it's like his life. Trying to sort you out. Yes. She doesn't even iron. Hubs. John, isn't it? Right, anyway, let's go back over to the tubes there. You've been waiting patiently, guys. I've been reading out the TikTok stream. Where are we? Over there. It's a crazy story. It's well worth it there. One theory I have, this is up there, is that the universe itself is alive and has a conscience. We are part of the universe. Anatomy there. A place was called Tikaboo Peak. That was it. Yeah, good remembering there. But yeah, no, you're. And I think that's. We got a flasher. That's a very interesting point there. They do say a lot of the time that we are the universe.
Zoom mode activated.
Experience in itself, and like that is literally true. Look, we are the universe. We're not separate from it there. But you talk about this universal consciousness as well. There are so many touch points on that as well. Now, I mean, it even then ties in again to sort of panpsyism. Right, that flash didn't come back. I was a bit eager there. We got some movement up here. Target acquired. Shoot the aliens. No, it's green, they're good. Reminds me of the Santa tracker we did at Christmas there. But if he stole the element 115, he would be a dead there. Well, it might be the 115 that keeps him alive. Like, maybe that is the thing that he's got on a dead man switch that kind of gets released if he disappears. That's the evidence that we all need, because it's indisputable. But it does make you think that if he did have something like that, there wouldn't have been any messing around. But yeah, I don't know. I'm always torn with the governments, these sorts of organisations, between absolute incompetence and also super capable at keeping things quiet. And there seems to be a bit of a paradox in my head with those. Both can be true to certain degrees. And Garnet there as well. In 2022, Northampton, Kettering there, November 11 p.m. I saw a spaceship, a UFO, bigger than a football pitch, and down and no noise, and watched it for 10 minutes there. White lights around in a circle shape. So the actual lights were in a... So was it like a circle itself, just like a ball of light, or was it actually ringed it? Because that's an amazing set, and the size of a football pitch for 10 minutes there. Were there any coloration? Like, thank you for sharing that. That's a brilliant account. I wish I had a sighting like that. Could you imagine if we just saw that description right now coming over? There'll be no disputing, would there? You know, you recording something like that. That's phenomenal there. And Borley Rectory, England's most haunted house there. That I'd love to have visited. It's obviously not down now, but they're not very friendly there. I was from Essex, and I never made the most of going to it there, though. Didn't even try to sniff the place out there. Also, amazing, isn't it? After he mentioned it, they added it to the period of time. It's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it? Only the other day, because they're saying that they've added it, as, to the periodic table, because you can kind of guess where the plus is, but they did manage to synthesize it. Very short living version of it, so it wasn't stable like the one that he had. Only the other day, I was listening to some scientists talking about how they've refound this island of stability again with the elements. After a certain size, they're probably going to get, so they're getting closer to actually creating what he was describing now, though. But who knows a disclosure when it'll happen there exactly. I think disclosure isn't the one thing that we all think it's going to be. I'm starting to think now that disclosure is what's happening right now. It's the fact that we're all connected, that we're all talking tonight, that we're all sharing our information, and slowly it kind of builds up over time. Like, disclosure is how you label an event post the fact, rather than a thing you can kind of book in on the calendar. But, it wouldn't hurt, would it, if, President White House Lawn with the old metal flying saucer, and I can only imagine what it was like to work on trying to reverse that tech, and it would have been like walking on Mars. I mean, can you? Yeah, I can't imagine how awesome that would be. But it was really interesting. That's actually one of the points that I think speaks to the probable truth of it. There was that they described in that recent documentary. That actually it wasn't fun, it wasn't exciting, it felt weird, and it felt wrong, and it felt stressful, like they shouldn't have been there. So definitely there. David Politis there, the missing 411. I was really interested in the 411 as a concept, but there was a group of there's some people that I watched that actually they were into all the weird stuff, and they looked into the 411, and they basically said he's kind of... They gave a lot of examples where actually those people had been found, and, it's just not, and it's like, I haven't looked myself to see if they are correct, but it raised enough suspicion in me to be like, there's enough mysteries, I'll move on. But, people still do go missing in general. There is still a big issue with that sort of thing. There, set the eye on cannon. Oh my God, take me back to Command and Conquer there. Another theory I have is that human DNA is the soul's attempt at immortality. Ooh, that's a good angle. That's very original there. See, souls is an interesting word, isn't it? There, like, we use it a lot, but we don't have a good definition of it. Like consciousness, like life. We don't have a sentience, I should say, actually. We use it all the time. We have a functional explanation, but we haven't really penned it in quite. It's very blurry, and lots of people disagree on it. And souls are like that as well. It's not to dispute that there is something there necessarily, but we haven't defined it. And I think it's interesting. What could it be? How does it work? Where are we in the chat there? Agree, universe is a living thing there, but not sure about having consciousness. Well, that actually, that is another angle on this. Again, the conscious experience that we have is, is coming from our point of view then. We're all starting from what we know, which makes sense, but I'm sure the universe is much, much weirder there. And like the orb, what UFO podcast I looked into. Oh, which one was that, Colin? Is that the Boogosphere one? because I was waiting for them to send it to a university to do the work in it there. And I have original photo negs there from the investigation. Oh, over 450 of them there. Harry Price and Peter Under. On a bit. Zark. Oh my god. 450 negatives there from the Borley Rectory investigation. Oh my god. You've got to put them into a book. I need to see them, Zark. I need to see them. That I want to see. That is just so cool. Honestly. 1900s to 45. Oh my god, that is so cool. There, and go on there as well. Have you heard of George King Arthur's Society? No, I haven't actually. I can't pronounce it. No, what sort of is that UFO stuff, or is it more into the weird? And I haven't scanned them in yet. Oh man, I'm coming round. Put the kettle on. I need to see these there. And I had an orange orb in my room. Oh wow, 8, and I woke up and I saw it there. It disappeared. No noise. Like the birds into a fashion in front of there. That is interesting, and that noise, that will give you a clue of how it works, what that technology is, what the rules of physics are at play there. And sound is a really interesting one. It leaves a fingerprint. It tells you a lot about stuff, so that if you could kind of give similar to what that sound is, we might be able to deduce some of the mechanism. That is a lot of evidence right there. And I've only scanned about 4 of them, and the first one was a cross on a chain, and also a tunnel underneath the house there, where the nun alone. Really, I'd love to. I mean, they've built new houses on the site now, but I'd love to have a sniff around there. And mates, the craziest shit have happened, and I'm not joking. They're gonna what was it? Let us know that. Oh no, the orange orb, that was you there, wasn't it? Yeah, that is fascinating. That's a lot of interest. That's a lot of data in that. I would love to know that. And we use the word love there all the time, but there is no real definition. Love as well. One is art is one that we'd never agree on a definition of it. I've got some opinions. You'll be surprised. But yeah, no, it's another one that we don't lock in. There, and me and my family saw some paranormal activity, and it's been a crazy experience there. Again, it's this difference. You see something that says the world is a little bit stranger than how it is there, and then you're off on a quest to learn more, isn't it there? And I'm still frightened thinking about. Honestly, I don't blame you there. Like some people, especially with the UFO stuff, they talk about it in a euphoric sense. It's life changing. The world is so much more possible, and they thought. I think I'd be terrified. And honestly, bro, I have them all in a box there, and bought a scanner for Canada. Oh man, that is honestly, we got to see them, man. We've got to see them. That is some really cool there. Terrence, you see it there? Lots of movement on the screen. Keep a good eye spotting there. And UFO, George King, his mother was a bald one. Very interesting there. The actual, close to the first kind, being on the craft, being abducted, doing this a year. That is the rarest thing for people to claim that they have had that experience. Yeah, and Helms as well there. We live around the corner from a Borley there, 350-year-old house there. And when we moved in 6 years ago, both dogs refused to cross the threshold of the front door, and had a lot of strange stuff going on with that. That would be enough for me. I was so worried about this house being haunted. Touchwood would have been all right. I've got a rule, no ghost in the house, but that would unsettle me there. And the orange orb looked at me, and I woke up and got up out of bed, though the orb disappeared, and in a tunnel, like it was a bat or a bird there. And I pinched myself for 20 years. You would, wouldn't you? Because you've seen it, but yeah, you don't know how you've seen it there. And we saw a figure in a caravan in Evesham at 3 a.m. and my bro woke me up to see it, and it was a black mass sitting on a cooker there, peering down at my mother, swinging its legs as like a kid does when it's bored. Oh, Agent X is in there. You've made it over to the outside there. I do. and the Scottish Triangle there before Skinwalker Ranch. I want to do the Scottish Triangle, and I have to see Expedition X. They're quite half man, half wolf. Oh, that's quite something. And the good weather for the next 5 days. So yeah, we're going to have a good run of Skywatches. We're going to be on again tomorrow night, guys. We're going to be looking to the skies for the strange. It's been a fantastically busy but awesome night tonight. And Jonathan there, thank you for the follow too there. Zach, could I see this with eyes? So yes and no. The lens that we're using now, although this is the visible light, so it's the same as what our eyes can perceive, it's not the infrared or anything like that, it does let in about 2.5 times what the human eye can see. And so we're seeing more stars now. So we'd probably only see a handful of the big ones with your eyes on a clear night. We're seeing a lot more in the detail in the background there. And Outlaws, thank you for the shares. It is those shares and the likes tapping away, guys. That does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. You never know who's going to come in and what story, what experience that they are going to share with the old phenomena there. And Alice in Wonderland, how are you doing? Good to see you. And want to see us? Of course. And Kate there, I don't think you've ever actually told your spooks. I think I have once, though. Once, maybe. I'll tell you in a second then. It's been like 7 months of hinting. I'm just teasing you. It's going to be a massive disappointment there. And if you've observed something there, you avoid to be seen. How do you mean? How do you mean there, Alice? I might have to explain around that one for us. I'm a bit slow. I'm getting tired at this time of night there. And they found, they were looking for skinwalkers and found a UAP and a man with a horse legs. That's a combination. I think the world is so much stranger than we have been left to believe there. I think most of these stories come from something, and it might not be 100%, but I think there is some degree to these. There's some initial calls there. Trust me, it's crazy. You can still hear it. Can you describe the sound there, Zach? My mother admitted that she also saw it years ago. She saw it recently on the caravan site running through the bar in the middle of the bar. So is it Caravan you go back to a lot, or did your family own it there? So you've had repeated instructions. That is crazy. There now, our 5-year-old tells us he has a friend who hides in the... Oh my God, that would just... No, I'd move out of that. Things that kids say. I mean, if I was braver, you'd use that and try an opportunity to try and interact, wouldn't you? But, oh my God, can you imagine that? And happy there, happy meow meow. Is this live footage? This is live. This is from my camera. I'll try and move it, but the little thing always plays up. Is it going to work? Oh, there you go. Move the camera. Hold your hats. I think, is that Vega? Oh, there's the tracking going off. But this is live. It's coming to you from Wiltshire in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, and just down the road from Stonehenge is where we're coming to you live from. Where are you joining us from tonight there, Happy Meow Meow? What a name, I like that. And Age Next there, I'm here, I'm there, everywhere there. Took me ages to find you on the YouTube. It shouldn't have been that hard, just not if you don't know her name. And there, oh, and my gran had died 3 weeks before. So you think it could be a correlation? I do think the rules, at the very least, the science that explains one will obviously give us clues to the other there. And we did some research, and it could be the ghost of a young lad accidentally shot in older times there, when they had human scarecrows. I didn't even know they had human scarecrows. Jesus. And a farmer accidentally shot a young lad by a farmer as he thought he was stealing crops there. So much of it probably went on back then. And you think, what are the rules that some are there but some aren't? You know, what is it that makes the decision, and when do they go, when do they stay? You know, like, how does that world work? I find it endlessly fascinating there. Trying to think of the name of the place I lived in down near you. The military houses were built on a pagan burial ground there. Some weird stuff happened, and I was a kid at the time. Really, so we're down here in Warminster, which is military, and lots of military housing bases around here. But Salisbury Plain, you've got, is it Lark Hill's got a big camp around that way. Who was it? It's not Amesbury. It's Avesbury maybe. It's the one that's got a lot of military living around there maybe. But there's so much, you know. I got an ordnance survey map of the area, and I said there's standing stones, there's cairns, burial mounds everywhere in the woods and just around here. You can't trip for finding it there. I'm genuinely curious there, has anyone else seen the Black Triangle? I experienced it in 2007, it changed my life. I could get why you see something like that. So the closest that I've seen, this is one of our best sightings, was we saw the 3 lights in the triangle shape, and it kind of floated up like this, but it blocked out the stars behind it as it floated off, or it appeared to. And we have since then seen 3 dots separate that didn't block out the stars, and there is a satellite that is in triangular formation, so that could have been that. But the first time, I believe it was blocking out the light. It's the closest we've seen to that one. But they think the old triangular craft, not all of them, but a lot of them, The reverse-engineered American TR-3B there. My mother went to a seance and she saw it again, and it's the freakiest thing to have ever known. That does sound pretty freaky there. So the seance, it came for then as well, and great to share the stories. Colin, we do love it. It's my favourite part, but hearing it all there. And I'm hopping over for the next few years. A lot is going on, going to come out about the things we don't know. I think so. I'm hoping over the next few years. So yeah, I think we are getting to a point now where our mainstream simplified and they're functional explanations. It's the same as when we tell our kids lying is bad. There are certain situations when you need to lie. As an adult, you can make those decisions and you can make those judgments and make them wrong. It's your responsibility. It's how it goes. Monarch there, how are you doing? You'll get the truth soon. Where are you joining us from? But yeah, it's like you tell your kids that. And if they take that statement throughout their life, that's going to get in the way. That is too simple. It becomes unfunctional. But when you're responsible for them, because they're a child, you're the parent, you take responsibility, you make the decisions for them, that works. That simple statement. And we're like this in society in a lot of ways. In lots of areas, we have these simplified functional explanations that we think is actually how it is. Whether it's the linear development of history, these simplified versions. And then we go, wait a minute, it's not working. Reality isn't matching up to what I've been told. And it is all a little bit stranger, isn't it, there? Some of us have had the orb in front of it, exactly. And Aaron, new in the chat, well, very much welcome, Willow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? And the shooting stars are awesome, honestly. You don't need the aliens. Nature just puts on such a fantastic show there. No chance, mate. My friend said get a spirit box. And no way. No ghost in the house is my rule. I don't mind doing it outside of the house, but those things can come back with you and stuff anyway, can't it? There. Where are we? It still exists in the caravan site, bro. It's the ranch in Honeybourne there. It's a big site. We used to go a lot when we were younger there, but my folks still go down there, and they still to this day have the interactions. That is interesting, seeing that connection over time, isn't it? There. Still think about I would as well, Colin, and that's how the brain works. If you don't understand something enough, if your map and understanding of reality is one thing, and then life shows you something else, that difference, depending how big, is literally trauma. That's how that happens in the brain, depending on what cost it came to you for. And you're going to be compelled to resolve that, because if that's different, what else about your map of reality is different? And will that cause you a problem there? And it appears if I launch a different browser on my laptop, it launches me into a different YouTube account. All your undercover accounts there, and happy meow meow there. The West Midlands there, not far away. As I mentioned, I have experienced the infamous black triangle in 2007. There's the size of a football field there, a completely silent green light, and the underside front there, and a red line in the corners. Very interesting. It does fit it. I can't imagine how that would feel to see that in the night sky there. I'm trying to catch up here on the YouTube chat, and then I'll pop back over to the TikTok there to wind things up. The Watchers and our elders. There's a lot of the biblical stuff that does actually make a lot more sense now with where we are in the UFO conversation. Oh, Phoenix, Arizona there, Monarch. I do like a little bit of Arizona, a long history with the phenomena. Have you seen anything strange yourself in the skies there? And what freaked me out was it knew where it was in our time and dimension to be sitting on the cooker. I know it sounds crazy, but I swear it's the most frightening thing I've ever seen. But that actually makes a lot of sense there. It's showing you that whatever that is, it's not just a replay. It's dynamically interacting with the current environment. And what does that mean? That opens up a whole kettle of fish to how that world works. I totally get that. I have to ask my dad if he had an old name. I'd need to, yeah. Let us know. And at the seance, it ran down the entire table. Someone was filming the event, but they are too afraid to put it online. I don't blame them there, but phenomenal. I'm so desperate to explore and have experiences like that, but also absolutely bloody terrified of that there. So I really appreciate you sharing all of those ones, guys. 4 large reg engines. Got an overwhelming feeling of great respect. And it was like observing an alpha predator there. I don't believe this is human tech. I think it's interdimensional. Dimensional is an angle here. I'm going to have to save that one for a different night there, because we're getting quite late. But, bring up dimensions again. If you come back in, we should be on tomorrow night, guys. do join us for that. Make sure you're all subscribed, liked, followed, whatever it is where you are, so you can join us for that one. But Dimensions is a different angle on this, and it's a very interesting one there. Oh, Greater Manchester as well. They will love it. It's crazy, but it happened to be a Colin, 100%. My mate went onto a Ouija board and said he saw. Oh my God, where's it gone? He saw the devil's claw come through a mirror. Oh my God. I was witness to a Ouija board once when I was a teenager at school. We did that. Also, we did that. I observed. I sat in a circle of salt, and the truths, or the word, what came out of that. Hold on, TikTok's having a sulk. TikTok back now, hopefully. Sorry about that. But yeah, the Ouija board. Yeah, what came out of that board, no one in that room knew. 100% no one in that room knew. Yeah, I'll tell that story at some point, but that made me, I ain't fucking, I don't know what that is, but I ain't fucking with it. And if every human being was up for it, yeah, and they do, bro, my mother saw the small figure walking around it, and they were like the last ones on site last year, and it was closing down for the winter season there. It is very interesting, right? That just, if they can interact, what does that mean? Are we sharing this world with them? What's that like for them? Can they communicate with themselves? Is whatever that looks like, it's reality, and we need to know, and we need to be able to adjust to that. So I think it would have that effect. We'd be able to prepare, we'd be able to understand that, and it might even be in a good way. It might inspire us to know what's possible depending on the thing there. But fundamentally, does it change anything? If they are real, if they're already existing, they already exist, just that you're aware of it. It'll change things socially, I think, a bit. But, you go back to the turn of the century. It's a very good question there, Alice. If you go back to the turn of the century, we, as a Western culture, believed there was life on Mars and Venus. It was quite a commonly held belief that there's probably life over there. They thought they could see the Martian canals. They thought they were receiving signals from them. And it was only, I think, in the 50s, we got the powerful attempt, maybe the 60s of the first, probes and things, that they knew that we do think there is actual life, but not complicated civilizations now. So, you know, we had that knowledge. I think we're reasonably prepared for it. Oh, good night, Beer Buster. I hope I caught you there, but thank you for joining us as always there. And Stonehenge, the good old times where people didn't believe in us. Yeah. And did you ever get to see a UFO there, and how does it affect your life? So, I haven't had the same experience as a lot of you guys have, and the people that you have had it, I mean, it is a shock. It's how does this fit in to the mainstream understanding of the world? There's a bit of a paradox, there's a contradiction here, and I need to marry that up. And then people come here to places like this and share their to try it and understand it, because you need to then rewrite your map of the world, understanding of how that exists in it and then how that affects things. It's a very good question. For me, I've seen very strange things, but they're still in the realms of, it's not a physical craft in front of me, and it's not a small green man with a little dodgy finger coming at me. That would be a very different experience, wouldn't it? Same as if we got that biosignature from a planet 1,000 light years away. Oh, there's life, but it's probably algae. That's confirmation of alien life. It's one thing, but it's very different to the, hold on, what's that suspiciously shaped spacecraft thingy hurtling towards us coming? You know, that's different, or the message there. And do you talk about the black night? So we do actually, because when it's a cloudy night, guys, we do an alien radio signal hunt there. Can't get the camera out, so we get the big dish out, point in the night sky, listing out for signals, and it comes up a lot there. And aliens, the potential of an alien probe in our orbit. There are actually there is actually a lot of evidence that could point towards that being the case. Anomalous signals there, and things around the space program as well. There, did you see Jesse Michael's interview on the time traveler's daughter? No. I haven't seen that one, X. I thought I'd watched like all of his stuff. The time travel. Oh no, maybe I did. No. Oh my god, I'm confused. Maybe. That's a helpful answer, isn't it? Sorry. And it would not help you to know the truth. Well, I think you're right in a lot of senses, but the reality is reality, and we have to work with it. And they do say, don't they, that actually one of the reasons maybe why it's kept a secret is it could be a secret too terrible to be told. Maybe we're somebody's lab experiment and they're coming back to end the experiment there. Maybe, we are manipulated. We're on a prison planet with no hope of escape, or whatever it might be. I think the truth is the truth, and the reality is reality, and we're just lying to ourselves if we don't understand it, no matter how terrible it is there. Do you see any? Yeah, we've had some interesting ones tonight. When we get the camera out like this, we do see some very interesting things there. Jeffrey didn't listen, I know. And what would be your question? I don't know. That is the thing. I mean, I'm sure I would have a million questions, but the main one, that 100% confirmation, that would be answered in of its just by the presence of it. Same as if we got that signal, that clearly technological signal, not coming from Earth, and you get that, right, there's intelligent life, there's technology. That's a win. What does that message say? Next question. Interesting there. No, you weren't there. You will tell us your paranormal story. All right, there. Okay, tell a story, and I'll go find out what the monster is. Okay, that's a deal there. And have you tried leaving the camera and AI running throughout the night there to learn more quickly? Actually, Drew, that's not a bad idea. The only thing is, though, that the amount of times that I've got caught out with rain, but also moisture, like, oh my god, I'll go out to the camera right now and it'll be dripping. Like, I'm learning so much about condensation. I've got some heaters on the lens and stuff, but I'm a bit paranoid about leaving the camera out there. But I would like to. That's not a bad shout. Maybe, yeah, I'd have to figure out a way. Maybe I could stay up late. I don't have to be on it, but I could keep an eye on the weather maybe there. AT, thank you for the follow there. And what have you just said there? The talk kept playing up. Oh, I think that was just about the experience with the Ouija board there. And magic music there makes people wonder. Exactly. Steve, there any flashing lately? There was some earlier, some interesting flashing, some interesting colorations today as well. How you doing, Steve, there? And show me a UFO. Yet it gets boring there, and I came here to see UFOs and not nothing. Well, this is the thing, Alice. This is the thing. There's very no time to watch something doesn't change my life. So that is the thing, Alice. You're going to find truth in patience there as well. This is the thing. You learn a lot more in the journey, you know. And you're going to go around going from A to B, A to B, A to B, getting a lot of short, sugary hits, kind of like your McDonald's fast food there. But, you know, it's the stuff that's earned through substance. Because you can see things on the screen now, and we have seen things, but it's in the fact that we come back and we do it all of the time that we learn a bit more about it. We learn to identify what that behaviour is. And then somebody comes in and there's a signal going. Let's wait for it to come back. somebody comes in and they will tell us a little bit about that. That's their expertise. They work with satellites. They refine what we're doing here. So it's a bit of a process. You've kind of got to earn the knowledge. Look, I'm as bad as it is for quick fixes and wanting to see I want to see the aliens. I totally get it. But you're not going to get anything special if it's quick and easily available. You know, you got to put in the work sometimes. You know, you've got to go hunting for treasure. And Drewski's there. I hope you all have a good night there. Oh, Drewski, thank you very much for joining us. We'll catch you later there on the outside. And Jesse interviewing Time Travel's daughter was 4 weeks. I must have seen it. It's something that rings a bell, but I can't remember much. I must have seen it though. Did you just see the shooting star? I did not see it. I didn't see that. Damn it. Where are we? Let's have a look in the here. Where are we? Okay, Kate, I'm going to catch up. Right, wherever the chat is now, that's where I'm going to have to end it because I have to go to bed. But I'm going to tell the story of my spooky one. You're going to be kind of underwhelmed. I've got a prop. Because I promised. And I have told this one before. You'll remember it when I tell you it, Kate. Then I'll quickly read through the rest of the YouTube chats there before we get off. So don't bother putting any long messages in there, right? But my spooky experience, I was very, very young. I think about 5. And I was in my bedroom. In my house. It was a new build house built in the early 80s. My parents were the owners of that house from scratch until about 10 years ago. It was on farmland, nothing but fields around, not even a barn or a stream or a creek around. Very boring, very flat. I did look into it there. But yeah, new build house. We'd been there from scratch, you know, and I was reasonably privileged. I didn't really have any particular grandparents or anybody pass until I was a bit later on there. So there are no real obvious cases here, but so I was about 5 and I was in my room. I remember being a dark evening, you know, and I was, you know, before bed. Parents were downstairs watching TV. Had the light on, and my room, as you can imagine, judging by this room, there was a fine layout of toys across the floor. I never had a tidy room. And for some reason, obviously this is a clue to the modern day autistic diagnosis here, but see, this is one of those little date stamps you'd get like in a library. You change the wheels, you stamp it in ink, and you stamp the date. For some reason, I had one of them as a kid. Very similar to this, but it had a red top in the end. Only difference. Anyway, that was one of the many items of detritus across my bedroom floor. And I'm playing, light on, but it's night. It couldn't have been too late. But anyway, downstairs, I could hear the TV, my parents going, and I'm sitting there, playing whatever silly thing I was doing, and this item on the floor I just noticed raises up like this at this sort of speed. Hold on, let's get this right. It was this sort of speed, like that, just raises up. Must have been a foot or 2 off of the floor, like raised up, and then you know, so it got up and then went perfect right angle, you know, like across to the other side of the room, stopped, lowered itself down, landed on the floor, and I remember going, what was that? And in my head, I was like, I've got to tell my parents. So I picked up, I remember this, an umbrella. I don't know what that was in my bedroom. And it was a clear plastic one. I have no other memories of said umbrella. And I put the tip of it on the floor where it landed. And I picked that up and I went downstairs to tell my parents. And they got the, yeah. Now, it's not, I didn't see the devil in the mirror. I didn't see a hooded monk in my bedroom or anything like that. But what else can you remember, can do that? I've got no siblings, or I had no siblings back then, you know, there was nobody playing games like that. The only thing was just outright making it up. But I remember telling that story. I remember that so clearly, and I remember telling that story thousands of times over the years with no variation. There's not much to vary with it, you know. So I go, did I just make it up as a child? But I remember it so clearly, and I remember telling it. I remember saying I didn't make it up, and I didn't really make stories up like much anyway then, you know. But it's very mundane, but it's very clearly breaks physics. It's very strange there. You've not heard, you just weren't paying attention, Kate. But it's such a strange one. It's such a strange one. So you spooky stories there. Right, where are we? Over on the tubes there. Can still feel it now, I bet there. And I've seen the silver sphere inside my house for a few seconds once, and it was straight in once place, and it was after we'd seen that one in the sky and around us. Maybe it's like just seeing it once, being in your memory, in noticing it a second time there. And so there's someone at work told me about when they were at a house, and in the middle of the summer, all of a sudden the weather went from pleasant to midwinter, and the leaves were not on the trees outside, like a proper time slip there, and all the nature sounds went silent. I've got theories around that sort of stuff there. And it was a wedding reception That is interesting there. Didn't probably go well for the marriage there. Yes, but it does happen. It just happens to us who are open-minded. And I think that is how the brain works. If you don't believe in something, you can't attach that knowledge to it. Sometimes we will literally not see the things that are in front of us because we filter them through what we understand. So if you have no way of understanding things, or that there is things outside of that, then boom, you know, you can't perceive a lot of the stuff there. We've turned, we are blessed. I said there, telling you, we get the crazy vibes. I would, and it's a brilliant live chat. It is. I honestly, some of the stories tonight have been fantastic there. And when my granddad passed, at the exact second, a whiskey chandelier popped, and the top shot up in the air and smashed into the wall, and it had been sealed for over 30 years. It's correlations like that. It just points, doesn't it? And the spirit family will always let us know they are around and watching us. Leanne, my partner, for you guys who don't know, she lost her mum about 4 years ago, quite unexpectedly, out of the blue. And there were a few things after that that were just weirder than fate, and I have to let her tell those stories for you there. But it was very interesting. I want to switch off from that moment, but you can't there, and it's crazy. You can't. Your brain won't let you, because it doesn't know if it's a threat or not. And by default, it's going to think it's a threat. This is the same thing that happens with trauma, right? Your brain thinks that there is a bear in the room, and until you tell yourself that either you, and you can't just tell yourself, you have to prove the case. Incredibly wonderful. I've loved the conversation, the stories, the accounts. Thank you for keeping me company as we've watched the stars. I mean, I absolutely love this, and I'm trying to be a better person, more responsible for work, because my work productivity since doing this stream has done that, and I don't want to lose the job, so I'm going to try and go to bed. But thank you so much for